How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Gauntlet of Gaming. My name is Malik.
My name's John. Sorry.
How's it going, everyone? Just too busy.
I'm gonna put it.
Oh, that's disturbing. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Hearing your voice.
So, yeah, as you guys can hear from the flustering of everything that's happening, we had some technical difficulties.
And also what time it is.
So it's a little late.
It'd be late.
It'd be late, and it'd be like that sometimes. So first, I just want to apologize for the fact that this is happening a little later in the night, and the fact that we're later than 8 p.m. We did have some technical difficulties. So
for those who need to go to bed now before it gets real.
Yeah. So Marcus, that means you go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
We care about you. Anyways,
it's all about your health. It's not anything else. We don't.
Technical difficulties aside and apologies aside, welcome to the Gauntlet of Gaming. We already introduced ourselves. Remember that the Gauntlet of Gaming here, these hands are rated E for everyone.
Oh boy. We still need to work on that.
In time. Yeah. So today is a very interesting and special day because
a momentous day.
Yeah, we've already done a podcast.
Yes, we have.
But today we're doing a live stream.
It's a pain. I tell you.
We're in front of a camera.
I am holding it in.
So forgive us for any awkwardness that comes from it. Forgive us for,
being awkward, first of all.
Yeah, and just slip-ups that happen. It's our first time, so it's bound to happen. But that's not what we're here for. Mm-mm. We're not here for all of that. Mm-mm. We're here because recently a game came out, a game that the series we grew up with, and it's interesting to be able to play it again. That game, of course, is Pong.
No, that's not why we're here at all. The first live video we will ever do on this stream is we're talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That's true. All right. Yeah. Okay, you got me there.
And although Pong is an interesting bring up, I will say it's an enjoyable game. But Pokemon Sword and Shield is why we're really here today.
That's true.
And that's because it was the most recent game drop for you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there were other game drops this week.
Even in the past week.
Yeah.
Like, I know Jedi Fallen Order came out last week.
It was the Thursday before Pokemon came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
So, yeah, it's been around. Death Stranding, I know, has been around, but I'm not...
I haven't watched any gameplay. I know Control's out there for a lot of VGA awards, just like Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about, other games like that. DMC5? That is hurting your soul so much right now. We'll get there though. But we're here to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, which funny enough, because Sword and Shield, their main color icons are blue and red. So I find it very appropriate that I'm sporting my blue
and I'm red.
And I chose Pokemon Sword,
and I chose Shield because I just like Shield.
And I just like swords. It be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
So John, we've been playing Pokemon Sword and Shield for a bit.
Yeah, you beat it in 3 days. I'm
man.
Still playing it. That's what I was doing before this.
So I think my total completion time was 36 hours. But granted, that's like including downtime that I had where I could walk away.
Yeah, setting up camp and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just goofing around for the most part. Yeah. I have heard and seen that there are people who are able to beat the game within 10 hours.
Boy.
Minimum. Yeah.
Must be nice to have that free time. Unfortunately, we all don't have that luxury.
Yeah. But so, yeah, with the game being out, you haven't beaten it yet, but you're really close.
Oh, yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, because you just beat Raihan, the dragon trainer, correct?
Yes.
So you just got your 8th badge.
Yes, and I'm headed towards the champions spot right now, going through all the snow.
So now you're getting ready to go against Leon, so
you're
getting ready.
Better give me a good fight, is all I'm going to say. Well, I'm not mid-maxed like you. Right now, I'm rocking at level 50s.
Ooh, you had it.
And
That hurt me in my soul.
Yeah, because never thought you'd be saying mid-max out loud.
Not admitting to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you're pretty close to beating the game.
It's true.
I'm not going to tell you what really comes, but
Please
unfortunately,
don't.
So this is one thing I'll preface. There may be some spoilers.
There are already spoilers said. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that the 8th gym leader is Raihan, the Dragon Warrior.
And of course, Leon is the champion that you're going to have to battle.
And we really haven't said anything else.
Not yet.
I will say, though, I do have one thing to add before we start.
Yeah.
And that is we are playing a game that has now recently just sold 6 million copies.
Are you surprised, though?
A little, because back then these Pokemon games weren't all that.
That's true.
Because of the whole technology base. We were looking at Game Boys.
Yeah.
Going forward to, what was the DS, and then the DSi, and then the DS3D.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear a lot of like moaning and groaning about Black and White or Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon and X and Y.
X and Y. I mean, I heard that they were coming out, but I never played them.
I think that's because for us, that was the time where because if I remember correctly, that's when they were like, oh, we have these new Nintendo DSs that are coming out. You can play the new Pokemon on these. And it's like, well, I'm a broke boy who's only got the standard DS. So we kind of missed out on those generations. Because, I think for both of us, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum was the last Pokemon generation.
I was Pearl, you were Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother was Diamond. I remember him bragging that he was better than me.
older brothers tend to be like that.
Definitely.
Except for me. I'm definitely not like that.
He's talking to you, Marcus.
So that's the unfortunate thing is we haven't played a Pokemon game since Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. So there's a lot of mechanics we've missed out on.
Yeah, and we're playing it like, oh, that's new, but it probably really isn't.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part for us.
Exactly. So if we bring up something, and if you're like, oh, it's been there the entire time.
Been there since X and Y.
Forgive us. It's been a while. This is the moment that I heard about the Nintendo Switch, the first thing that came to mind was Pokemon. Like, I can play Pokemon again. Really?
Yeah, when I thought Switch, I thought Mario Kart.
That's fair.
I thought it was going to add a new sort of wheel thing that they just are now announcing, by the way.
Oh, they're now doing the gyro with the Switch?
Yeah, that big old gyro thing.
I'm still waiting for... I don't even think Pokemon Sword and Shield lets you use one of your Joy-Cons to throw the Pokeball? The Pokeball.
No, but it does. You could look around.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, that's VR for everything.
Yeah. I know that they have the Pokeball that you can get with Let's Go that you can use in the game. So I'm wondering if you can use the same mechanic where it's like...
What? That's the thing I don't know about.
Yeah, so Let's Go Poke... So remember did you play Heart Gold and Soul Silver?
I played...
The remakes of Silver and Gold?
No, I just played the original Silver and Gold.
Yeah, so Silver and Gold had a DS remake. And I guess that fits into the same time of playing Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
We're doing history now.
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of dating ourselves, if anything.
Oh, man.
But, yeah. So, when they remade they made Silver and Gold, they remade it for the DS, it came with this kind of like Tamagotchi pedometer that you could walk with your Pokemon, and it basically would like help boost them and things like that.
Okay.
So, it was a really cool mechanic, but it never really made the light of day again in future Pokemon games. And then Let's Go Pokemon and Let's Go Eevee came out, and it was like, hey, you can get... I think they called it the Pokeball Pro, and I think someone in the chat or the comment section can
confirm
fix us
or deny.
Yeah, but basically, it was almost similar to the same thing. Because I mean, with Pokemon Go, there was a Pokemon Go Pro, so the technology was.
You talking about the mobile game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that watch thing. Oh yeah, you still have that.
Yeah, I still have.
So you can use that in this game?
No, you can't. Use that. No, the Pokeball it's legitimately a Pokeball.
Oh, okay.
That you can connect to your Switch, and then it acts. It's like a Joy-Con basically.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's like a Joy-Con. And remember how back when we were playing.
Oh boy.
The Wii.
Oh,
and you were able, and and the Wii could attach to attachments. It's like a Wii attachment, but minus putting the Joy-Con on. Yeah.
So if you had that attachment, it would have just worked normally.
Yeah.
You'd have to actually throw a ball at a wall to catch a Pokemon.
You don't throw it. I believe you press the button.
I'm definitely just throwing it.
And this is why they have the straps for the Wii Motes, because of people like you.
Yeah, specifically me.
Yeah. So that's pretty much kind of one of the cool new things that they introduced to the game. But I mean,
one thing I haven't seen that the Switch does sort of incorporate with most of its games is amiibos.
That's true.
And I haven't seen one word that said amiibo in the game. And I that was in my notes for the game was even Diablo, a game that doesn't have amiibos, still has
amiibos.
The amiibo like selection.
Yeah.
I mean, now it does have amiibos for Diablo 3 on the Switch, but boy. Yeah, I remember when it didn't have amiibos.
Yeah.
And it only has one amiibo.
But it still uses the function, though.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the same thing goes for, like, Fire Emblem Three Houses, where there was amiibo usage.
Yeah, and you could use Legend of Zelda amiibos.
Precisely.
That's what I was doing.
And
I was trash.
But you still... And it's not like you needed to get really rare items. No. You still just got something.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't even think about that until now. Now, maybe... And this is the thing...
And it could have been just because it was a different brand of... like company that sold the game. This is Nintendo selling on Nintendo.
No, well, Game Freak developed the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and then Nintendo kind of was just like, here you go.
Here you go.
But no, it is an interesting thing to think about because
they have all these Pokemon amiibos.
Well, it's not even just that, as the fact of like there's all these items in the game.
Yeah.
So like for instance, just a standard Pokeball and
walking up to a random person for a max revive.
Yeah. You know, versus using an amiibo that could give you some really cool items. And they could even do the whole, like, you get a daily... Because, for instance, like, there's the lotto that happens in the game. Yeah. Where if you go up to the box and you can randomly...
Did you ever win?
Never.
Yeah, no, I've hit it 3 times and I just... Nah.
Yeah, in any game that's ever had the lotto system, I've always lost. So
I thought it was a joke.
No, honestly. I think it works.
Does it work? Can anybody tell me if it works?
Again, that's...
Please?
If you ever... won with the Pokemon Lotto that's been like with the box, let us know.
Yeah, what did you win?
Yeah, what? Yeah.
That's all I want to know. Like, do you get money from... I mean, obviously,
money, yeah.
If it would just be money, that'd be great. But like, also, you can get money from doing anything in the game.
But it also makes me curious then, if you catch all 400 Pokemon, does that mean that every day you win? Or does each Pokemon have a specific ID number?
Is the Lotto based on Pokemon?
It's based off of an ID number. Granted, I'm not...
I know it's randomized every time you go to it.
Yeah. Hey, we're not Pokemon masters.
Yeah, okay.
Let that be known.
Yeah. Moving on.
If there's one thing you need to know about the Gauntlet of Gaming, we're filthy casuals.
We are filthy casuals.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we are the worst.
We're not the worst, but...
We like being able to just hop in a game and mindlessly go through it without... thinking about it sometimes. Most games, I mean, I like puzzle games. I'm a PC gamer, and that's the full beard in me. I like figuring out puzzles, and I like knowing about the story ahead of time, which I haven't figured out about Pokemon so far. Is I haven't really pieced together everything. I have at the beginning when it came to the hero, I did piece together that they're Pokemon. That's because of the titles and the legendary Pokemon that are there, but it still doesn't make sense to me on how it all fits together. I think I'm still finding that climax point, and I'm just waiting to go down the slide.
Yeah, that's the one. Talking about the story. Okay, so
let's
let's rein it back.
Yes.
So, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's talk about some pros.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about some cons, and we'll talk about some things that we don't know if they're in there or things like that. And we have our notes with us on our phones.
We're cheating.
So we're not texting people or ignoring you, but I'm gonna need a new co-host soon. So if
there's 2 other guys. If you want someone else to do this, tell them to go buy the game.
What's it called? Edwin says he's finally seeing you for the first time.
Oh, what's up, Edwin? This is what I look like.
Yeah. So,
oh man,
this is John.
That's a name we haven't heard in a while, actually. Hi.
And then Granola King says, "What's up with Malik? It's Cannon." I think that's my cousin Cannon, who's watching us right now.
What up?
So that's funny. So it's a family affair. So hello to all who are watching. I think it's like 2 or 3 of you that are new. But going off with the notes and talking about some good things, I kind of listed mine in order of how we were experiencing it.
Okay.
So it was.
I know at the beginning we were doing that, and then we separated, and then you went off to a weekend full of just Pokemon, and setting up this amazing thing that we're doing right now, which is live streaming, and then live streaming on Twitch. With sponsors
and videos on YouTube.
And we have more videos coming this weekend.
Sponsored by MXW Design.
Anywho, enough. The pros we were going on.
Yeah. So for me, the very first pro that I put, and I think it was kind of something you and I both were just like, yes, and it was the music. And I know. I know some people feel like the music isn't that good. And I mean, granted, with Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's probably one of the most controversial. I want to say it's No, I think it's the most controversial game of this year in the sense of how divisive it is. And I think the only other game that rivals it and how divisive it may be would be Death Stranding. Because some people just don't like the game, but they appreciate it, and some people love the game, so that's divisive. But Pokemon Sword and Shield, in my opinion, is probably the most divisive game of this year and one of the most controversial.
Okay.
And so what's hard about that is a lot of people will say like negative things. Some people will have legitimate negative things to say. Other people will say negative things just for the sake of saying, negative things. And the
people like hearing themselves sometimes. Yeah.
You are hearing the tap of their keyboards.
Oh yeah, that's me.
But for me it was like just the opening, because I mean we've known what the opening theme song for Pokemon Sword and Shield was ever since they first revealed it.
Oh, not me. I stayed away from trailers.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I didn't actually study before playing this game.
Okay.
I did know I wanted it only because it'd be the first Pokemon game I've owned since Pearl, which, by the way, was like what 4 generations? Did we find this out?
It was about like 4 generations.
4 generations ago, and I was just excited for a Pokemon game. Are we getting trolled?
No, chat's having a little bit of fun.
Okay, have fun.
Everyone's talking to each other. Roger that Red says, "Are we trolling?" Oh my, I don't know what that means. Intruding?
Are we intruding?
I'm not sure.
I can't read anything.
I don't know. But for the love of Blob, called us nerds.
Oh, get out of here! For the love of Bob.
Blob.
Oh,
you know who that is?
Yeah, it's Santi.
Exactly.
Yeah, that fool.
Santi, get out of here.
Santi, if you want to watch, be productive.
Ooh. Challenge. But anyway,
start sending heart emojis. I want heart emojis right now. That's all that matters to me.
Be careful what you ask.
Yeah, he's probably just now typing them all in there.
But no, I mean, that's the thing is like people complain about the game for different reasons in different ways. And the music was one of the things they complained about. And yeah, you were like, you stayed away, so this is completely fresh for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so for me, having heard that intro song over and over again, every time they release something about Pokemon Sword and Shield, you'd think it'd get boring, but there's something whimsical about it.
Yeah.
That's like inviting.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's not the super iconic Pokemon theme song that we're used to with the games, but it's still good enough to where it's like I don't skip it. I let it play for a little bit and then I'm like,
not me. I smash that A button as fast as I can.
Oh jeez. Disrespect for the music.
There's like a couple songs that I really, really want to hear when it comes to the game, and that is during a gym fight, there's a new game mechanic that I want to bring up for a pro, which I think is amazing, is that Dynamaxing.
Yeah, Dynamaxing.
And whether or not it was in X and Y,
yeah,
I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. So this is an entirely new concept.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Dynamaxing is kind of an evolution from what was essentially Mega Evolution.
Okay.
Where the Pokemon had it was kind of like Digimon.
Oh.
Where you could evolve even further. It's like Digimon meets Super Saiyan 3, where it's like going even further beyond.
Pokemon screaming at the top of their lungs.
Yeah. So yeah, Mega Evolution kind of is out the window, but it was replaced with Dynamaxing. And Gigamaxing.
Yeah.
And Gigamaxing is pretty much just
making
Mega Evolution of a Dynamaxed Pokemon.
I think it's like changing the skin too of the Pokemon.
Yeah, it changes the appearance. Yeah. I think it gives it some extra stats as well. So
just so chat knows, Dynamaxing is when a Pokemon turns into a giant.
Yeah.
Like and just huge, and it's a total game changer when it comes to battling. Because you focus on not just the main Pokemon that's in front of you that's tiny, but then they grow, and it becomes just this Godzilla battle that you never thought of when it came to Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I'm still unsure about time frame in story. I don't know if it's like linear with X and Y or...
I don't think it has any canonical holding to it.
That doesn't matter then. But that's such a cool concept that they threw it in.
Yeah.
And it works well. And then it's also thrown into the story when random monsters, right now for me, it's random Pokemon everywhere, Dynamaxing.
Yeah.
And the champion has to go and save the world because that's what he does.
Exactly. So I think, because that's your pro.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first instance where you and I may actually have a clashing of opinion.
Oh.
So for me, and I see that Rufon says that, he doesn't like it. And honestly, it's not that I don't like it, but I can kind of agree with that sentiment of not really being a fan of it. And the reason why I'm not... So, I love Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
I love giant robots, and I love giant monsters.
Godzilla's like top-notch battle fight for me, man.
Giant mechs and giant kaiju. That's
why we play Monster Hunter.
Fantastic. Exactly. Monster Hunter. But when I saw it in Pokemon, I was like, ooh. Ooh. Godzilla in Pokemon, I like. And so I was intrigued by it. Now, it's not what drew me into the game, but it was enough to make me want to like look more into, okay, what's this mechanic? How does it work? And things like that. And I actually wrote it as one of my cons later on.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But Dynamaxing felt less meaningful for me, in the sense of
how willy-nilly everything was happening.
Well, in the sense that it didn't feel necessary.
Oh,
that's my thing. So Dynamaxing existing is fine for like raid battles, right?
Yeah.
So we've played Pokemon Go, so we've seen what raid battles are like, and raid battles are pretty much the same thing, where it's just this bigger version of the Pokemon,
and you're all
team up to fight it, and then it shrinks down, and then you catch it. And I think they tried to take it a step further from that, where it's like, okay, forget about the enemy Pokemon being big. Now you get to be big too.
Yeah, and then it just becomes a normal fight.
And that was was my problem. Is it felt like it was meant to be a way to make battles more like large scale and important feeling, but
which is why it's only in gyms
and raids.
Yeah,
yes. But it ultimately kind of fell flat for me.
Okay.
Because so you've beaten the 8 gyms, I've beaten the 8 gyms, and one thing I noticed, and slight spoiler, but one of the gyms you actually don't Dynamax in,
which is interesting.
Yeah. So it was nice because it felt like a return to form.
Yeah.
And it also felt weird because I got so used to like climax of the fight. You know, it's like, oh, you're down to your last Pokemon, and well, I'm still on my first Pokemon, but it's like,
I was getting destroyed in that fight, man.
But it felt
I had 2 Pokemon. He had 2 Pokemon. I was like, what is happening to my guy?
But it felt like Dynamaxing kind of just felt like this cinematic finish to a fight, and not so much a mechanic to add to the fight. Because you're fighting the gym leader, right?
Yeah.
And say you Dynamax from the cuff.
Oh, yeah. No, bad idea.
The thing about that is, even if you Dynamaxed off the cuff of the battle, and the gym leader has 4 Pokemon, right? You're only Dynamaxed for 3 turns. So for instance, I chose Scorbunny, right? Which means that my final evolution was Cinderace, and Cinderace pretty much is what got me through the later half of the gyms. If Cinderace Dynamaxed and was able to one-shot 3 of the Pokemon, I'm still stuck with 1 to 2 other Pokemon. The gym leaders immediately, when they throw out their last Pokemon, no matter what you decide to do, Dynamax it. Yep. And it's like, that's cool. But how is this supposed to be strategically done then? Because the whole way they sold Dynamaxing is that it was meant to be strategic. They're like, oh, be careful, use Dynamaxing at the right time.
you can read the gym leader's always going to be the last
Precisely.
Pokemon for cinematic purposes.
Yeah, and so it was like, there's no real reason for me to not use Dynamaxing except for when the gym leader throws out their last Pokemon.
That's right.
And it kind of killed the feeling of Dynamaxing for me.
Okay. I just think it's a big old monster fight, and that's what I like. And another pro that I like is they brought sprites back from original Pokemon games. Like, so the little pixelated sprite when you catch a Pokemon, it shows up on your Pokelist or whatever.
The Pokedex.
Yeah, and it shows the sprite. It doesn't show the Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And that's what I always liked. I like seeing the little sprites because they were cute. And I was like, yeah. But that's probably been a continuing thing throughout the entire series of Pokemon handheld gaming.
Yeah.
And the one thing I do like about another pro for me on battles is it's like Pokemon Battles from the Nintendo 64 game. The camera work, that pans around the entire battlefield, even when you're going against like some wild type, and you walk into one and it's panning around each opposer and stuff like that. I loved that.
Yeah.
Seeing a 3D model just sitting there waiting for me to battle was awesome. I would just wait and just look at the camera feed, and it was always really fascinating to me, especially in battles, because battles you were co-op. And you could see, the other trainer and see what they're about to do and stuff like that. So that's one pro I really liked, was the camera work.
Yeah, and I will jump on that, and I will give it equal praise because, and I mean, granted, like, we're a little older compared to, the newer Pokemon players, but it felt like there was, and people will say how they feel down in the comments or in the, in the chat, but I felt like there was some love for the older generation thrown in there. You just had to look for it. And I think that was one of the examples of that. Because for me, my most playtime with Pokemon definitely was the N64 game.
Ugh.
And just playing that with friends, playing that with my brother, playing that game by myself even, where it had the mini games, it had the battles, and it had this cinematic feeling. Even though the polygons were, not the best because it was the N64 and it was older tech.
All of it
but it felt cinematic.
Yeah.
It made Pokemon battles feel closest to the anime that it ever could have at the time.
Right on.
And it felt like they were bringing that back. But the thing about that is that pro brings me to another con.
Oh man, what's up with you and cons right now? We're talking about the pros.
Yeah, I'm pessimistic. I'm pessimistic about certain things.
All right.
But the con that it brings me to is that when it came to the cinematic camera work of the game, why is it that the moves felt so stale? Because if you remember Pokemon Stadium,
yes,
when Pokemon did moves, like their full body went into it.
Yeah.
Like I remember when a Pokemon did Ice Beam, they leaned back and they let out Ice Beam.
I see it in a couple of specific Pokemon, and that goes to another con I have, which is Ika.
Yo, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's a major issue.
We'll get to that because
if they're gonna update anything, it better be that.
That's.
We'll get there. We'll get there,
yeah.
guys. Don't worry.
You probably don't know what we're talking about, but
I'm dipping my toe a little ahead of us right now. And it's for the lack of a better word, a trigger for Malik.
Kind of. Yeah. I have this thing with inconsistency.
Yeah, I know, and you gotta.
But here's the interesting thing: because I have a thing for inconsistency where I don't really like it. One thing that was inconsistent with the tradition of Pokemon, and again, we haven't played the past.
You're gonna yell at us all this time, but
so we haven't played the past 3 or 4 generations.
Yep.
But one thing, because we were talking about sound earlier.
Oh, yeah, music.
One thing that I really like about this game. Now, let's be honest. Pokemon, early on, you think you're all that.
We talked about those.
And yeah, your Pokemon can get demolished.
Oh, yeah.
The beauty, though, is in previous Pokemon games, when you were close to fainting, you would, and I apologize for anyone who's going to hear this.
Oh, my God.
Nothing but doo-doo, 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 over and over again. And this game, I remember the first time my Score Bunny got to low health in the red, and it went doo-doo, 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 and it stopped.
Yeah, I was in the room with you.
Yeah.
I remember.
And I freaked out in front of John because...
That was it?
Yeah, I was like, did my sound not work? Did the game break? Oh my gosh, is this game as bad as they say? And I realized that it was just the new mechanic.
Yeah.
Like, they reduced, and I don't want to say what we normally would say to describe the horrendous sound that comes from continuous ringing, but basically they made it more pleasant to hear that my Pokemon is not doing well right now. Because it went from being a repetitive ringing to being just it's like a text notification.
Yeah.
Where you're getting a notification on your phone saying, hey, your Pokemon's about to faint.
Yeah, but I responded to this being a man can easily forget he's down to 1 HP.
That too. Yeah.
And boy, have I forgotten a couple of times. Yeah. And I've watched my very, very big Pokemon go.
Just, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and part of it just comes down to team management. You just have to manage your team and things like that. Be aware of stuff. But it can get you a little cocky.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, my Pokemon's in the red, but also, boom, you just one-shot that guy. I think you'll be fine. And then a Pokemon comes out with quick attack and kills you. And you should say.
Or retaliate and retaliates. Yeah. So cool to look at.
Yeah. Speaking of cool.
Oh, no. A pro. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa. You all right? You feeling all right over there?
It's a little hot in here because of the lights, but it's okay.
But
you know who else is, you know who's a little spotlighty? I was going to say Leon.
Oh, Leon. Oh, man. If we're talking champions, I want him.
Leon, I think is... He's a great character who's not treated well, in my honest opinion.
He is used.
He's used, but not well.
What do you mean?
So what happens...
Because all I'm ever seeing him is saving the world.
But how big of the danger does it feel, though?
Yeah, I guess. Everybody's got a Pokemon, and everybody can use Quick Attack real quick.
But it's this isn't supposed to be a con, it's supposed to be a pro. So we also get introduced to his younger brother, who is one of our rivals, so we don't really have just one rival, but he's our main rival. Mm-hmm. So Leon's younger brother is Hop. So Hop is supposed to be the main rival for the game. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. But Leon is supposed to be the Pokemon champion. And I think the way that they handled the rival and the champion in this game was pretty good. Like, I appreciated it. Because
I liked how they were different, but they were also the same person.
Yeah. They were the same person. They were same in some... they're brothers.
They're brothers.
They're brothers. And the thing that was cool about that...
And he's very older brother. He's got that very, you're doing great, kid.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Just keep getting your grades up.
Exactly.
And I'll take you to Disneyland. Yeah.
Or it was always like... And it felt weird because I love Leon as a character. I felt like Hop shouldn't have been his younger brother, though.
No.
I feel like we should have been the younger sibling.
He's way too hyped.
He's
That's why I was rubbing my temples just now. He's so happy all the time. And, I mean, let's be honest, I need a depressed guy every now and then. That's why I hang out with this guy.
True.
He is... There was one solitary moment in the game where...
You're talking about Hop, right?
I'm talking about Hop.
Okay, yeah.
There was one moment in the game when Hop got his butt kicked by another rival, Bede.
Yeah. Spoilers.
There's another E in there, and I always want to say Bede.
Yeah.
I always want to say Bede.
But then it reminds me of Death Stranding.
Yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, so Hop...
BTs, BDs, and the PPs, That's a Pokemon joke.
Stop.
That's not inappropriate.
That's inappropriate.
That's a Pokemon joke.
But anyways, Hop gets beat by Bede, and
his emotion change.
Just complete 180.
And I wish he stayed that mentality. And not that he was down on himself.
Yeah.
Because he was very, very self-destructive when it came to, oh man, I gotta get better. Yeah. Or my brother's name's on the line. Yeah. He's the champion. I gotta get better for him. It's not me. And I was just like, keep up with that motivation.
Yeah.
I like that. Not always in this stance, cheering on like, fight me right now.
Apparently is a controversial pose. So apparently they ripped off that animation from another Pokemon game.
Oh, don't tell me these things.
Yeah, supposedly.
I like the game.
Hey, I didn't play those games, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, this is a new game for everybody.
It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, no, for me it's like Leon's so great that he should have been our older brother. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
And Hop should have been the person where it's like, your older brother is so cool, I'm going to beat him one day. And
that would be a cool dynamic. That would explain why he's so energetic.
Precisely.
And if he actually became the champion in the end.
Yeah. And it would
instead of us.
It would also explain why our character, because I mean, in Pokemon, our characters never emote. Or if they do, it's very slight. And so... For this game, it would make sense that our character doesn't really emote a lot because we don't get the attention.
He's so stale-bred. It's not even funny. Like, if you see him ever just standing, he's just standing.
That's him happy, sad, and tired.
He doesn't get sad. That's the weird thing is you only ever get... Okay, in conversations, guys, he only ever does either two. It's a question in the form of an answer or an answer.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the player now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you only ever get two options to repeat or respond to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's always,
what
do you mean? Or, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Which I'll talk about that too, because it was
That's a con.
But yeah, no, I think Leon was a very good plus. And I think how he was introduced was a plus. I think the way that the game starts off is really good. Because you're so used to the formula of, like, I remember, I want to say Ruby and Sapphire, and even Emerald, where... You meet Professor Birch, I believe.
That name sounds super familiar.
The one who gets attacked by the Zigzagoon. And it's like, it's this whole trope of like, something happens, there's someone in the grass that's being attacked. And it's like, hey, take this Pokemon and help them. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's like...
Split decision. You get one.
Yeah, it's like, do the thing. And then afterwards, the professor's just like, oh, you've proven yourself to be worthy. God. And it's like, you may choose from my splendor of infinity Pokemon. And it's like, you can have the fire Pokemon, the water Pokemon, or which, for once, can we stray away from the same 3 starter types?
No, I want a ghost type at the beginning.
Right? Or a steel type. I want a steel type
starter. I want a dark type. Like, right off the bat. Like, I want a fighter off the bat. Like, I want my Colossus guy that I have in my Gorlok.
Yeah.
I call him Little Willie. He's great. He's a big guy. He's 9 foot tall in the game.
Yeah, because the thing for me is like back when the games focused more on the starter and less on the legendary. So with the red, blue, green, and yellow, it made sense that
it followed the scheme.
Yeah, it was like it made sense that you choose one of the 3 starters. But now when the games focus more on the legendary, why do we have to still have a fire, water, and leaf starter? Like, sometimes people end up finding favorite Pokemons that aren't even their starters. Granted, for me, Cinderace. I love Cinderace. At first, I hated the design, but I like it. It's clinging on to me.
You weren't always a bunny guy, is what you're trying to tell me. Or tell them. If you keep looking at me, but we're talking to them.
If you're watching and you know me, you know I don't like animals. So for me to like a Pokemon that is animal in nature is interesting. Because to this day, my favorite Pokemon still is, and probably will forever be, Deoxys. So, my favorite Pokemon's an alien.
Yeah.
There you go. But just the way that the game started, I thought was great. And there's an area for improvement.
Always.
There's always an area for improvement. And I just think the way that it started, though, was really good. Yeah. I really liked it. Hop,
he is
at first was okay.
Turn off, in my opinion.
But and you know what? He can go into the next con right now. Is talking about the rivals in general.
Oh, there are not just Hop. So many.
So there are 3 rivals, if I remember correct. Well, technically 4 if you want to count Leon.
No?
Technically. Who would you say the 4th is?
So you have Beedee?
Yeah.
You have Hop. No, it's Beedee. Sorry. You have Beed.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hop.
Marnie. Yeah.
Oh,
and then Leon.
Leon.
And I don't talk about that dynamic.
I was going to say Sonia, but Sonia doesn't ever battle you.
Battle Sonia.
No.
Yeah. She's like your personal professor, but it's like she doesn't battle. So
I guess when I said 4th, I thought of Leon's rivals. Leon had 4. What's up? Hi guys.
So
we are reading your chat.
Yeah.
Now
we get carried away and we just don't.
We get lost in thought.
But yeah, no. For the love of Blob said, I wish Team Yell wasn't so underwhelming. We'll talk about that.
That's a con, my friend.
Yeah. We'll talk about.
Wish you were here, by the way.
And then Rufon, never gonna happen. Oh, this is a child's game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing we're gonna talk about. Who is this game focused? Yeah. Who's it focused on? Is it focused on a newer generation of Pokemon users, such as kids under the age of 14?
Yeah.
Like when we were playing the game. Or is it for us? Because there are there are reasons. Excuse me, I don't know English right now. There are definitely reasons that show for our generation of Pokemon
like
users.
The competitive aspect.
The competitive aspect, the need for older Pokemon. Mm-hmm. There are Pikachus, Eevees, and stuff like that in the game.
Precisely, the legacy.
Yeah, everything.
We're not talking about Dexit. National Dex.
Mm-mm.
We don't really care.
We don't. Both of us.
Yeah.
We don't care about the National Dex. Someone's going to slap our wrist for that later on, but I don't care.
That's their opinion.
Yeah, but there is one thing we want to add to the Dex reason was they added 94?
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. We keep saying we're going to talk about it, but we need to.
We got previews of what we'll talk about.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Yes.
So we'll be here for a minute. So I'm hoping that you're strapped in for a really good long discussion. And of course, drop in the chat.
Yes, Pokemon Stadium is the greatest.
Oh,
yes.
I mean,
it is the best. When it came to battles, it was the greatest. Story didn't have any. Also, can we talk about Snap?
No.
Oh. Hardly a Pokemon game.
But let's go back to the rivals because Hop is a very big conversational part, but I want to talk about Bede and Marnie, and I count Leon as a rival.
Yeah,
and I'll explain that.
Because he's throughout the game, but you don't fight him until the end.
You don't fight him until the end, yeah. And I think you can technically fight him twice. Technically.
Did you fight him at the beginning?
No. That's not what I mean. I think you can fight him post game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, you can fight him post game. So I haven't gotten there yet.
That emoji.
And honestly, I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked if I go to him right now. So
really, really,
yeah.
I thought you were like breeding now, aren't you? He's got like 80 score buddies on his
I have like an army of score buddies.
I have no idea why.
A man's got to trade. But let's start with Marnie, actually. The most underwhelming, in my opinion, of the rivals.
Yeah. I'd say the same to that.
Yeah. So the thing with Marnie is that
Great outfit.
It's really fun to see her design. I love her design.
Wannabe punk, but not a punk.
I even liked Bede's design.
I think did not like Bede's hair.
I think Hop's was Bede's hair was very
when he ever did this, he didn't do anything with it.
No.
It was always curly.
Well, it is a Pokemon game. So
I understand that.
Everything. But no, I mean, design-wise, Hop's design was very basic, but I guess that's because he was supposed to be like the direct rival. So of course he's gonna look. I wish so you can change clothes. Why can't our rivals change clothes too? But anyways,
everybody's got one outfit in the league, except us.
We
only know how to change clothes. We know what a washing machine is.
I think so. But no, Marnie for me was the most underwhelming because her introduction was kind of one of those like, oh yeah, I'm also going for the championship title. And
later on, she becomes a little more dynamic.
Yeah,
but only for a second.
Yeah, she gets like the spotlight for a quick moment, and then after that, it's like
awesome. I'm glad they incorporated another brother sister.
Okay, yeah. That was cool.
Really happy to see another family in the game.
Yeah, the way that there was the family dynamic. So, spoilers.
Gym 7.
The one, Gym. Is it Gym 7?
It's Gym
Spikemuth is Gym 7?
Yep.
Okay,
it's the gym before Dragon.
Got you. So yeah, Spikemuth is the 7th gym, and we were talking about how there's a gym that doesn't have Dynamaxing. That's the one.
Yeah,
as for reasons, I'm not going to explain.
It's a story thing.
Yeah,
play the game.
Play the game. See the relationships.
It's rated.
But it's cool, but it's also sad that where her character kind of shows more was Spikemuth itself. And it was kind of alluding to that being the fact that when you got to Spikemuth, that's when her character would have her time to shine, because
everybody's put in the game for a reason.
Yeah,
everybody's put in the game.
It's her home.
Yeah,
and the thing about it is, very early on, we realized you can look at Team Yell, because Rufon talked earlier about how, like, was it Rufon or was it For the Love of Blob who said?
Yeah, it was For the Love of Blob. It was Santi.
That was talking about
how they're underwhelming.
Yeah. So
was Santi.
It was Santi who talked about how the Team Yell was very underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, we saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
Because the way that Team Yell was presented to us, they just look like, and it's because the game is based in the UK, so it looks like your stereotypical UK group of rowdy boys and girls who are kind of like super just obnoxious, not really rebellious, because you kind of learn later on that Team Yell, they're not bad people.
No.
Like, it blows my mind.
They're just
how annoying they are for not being bad.
They're just annoying.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Like, you meet them.
It says Team Yell. It's not Team Rocket.
No, gosh.
I miss Rocket now.
I miss Team Aqua and Magma.
Oh, yeah, the Pirates?
I'd even take Team Galaxy. Like, at least these teams were
like
evil, not evil people all the time, but they were people who were trying to do something like big.
Evil.
Or it just was not.
And it had to do with the legendary
not positive.
Time, too.
You know, I would say it was evil as it was more not positive.
Yeah.
Though there was some evil that kind of kicked in with that. But no, the thing about it is, like, Marnie and Team Yell are both underwhelming because they both come from the same place of Spikemuth, which in itself I'd say is underwhelming.
Oh yeah, it was the only place that looked like it didn't have shine to it. And it was, it was different in that way because it didn't have shine. You saw broken windows, you saw things that you wouldn't see in a normal Poke Town.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the town of
Spikemuth
was the gym.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
the gym.
You went through it, battled trainers, and then continued on to the gym leader, which was an underwhelming fight of no Dynamax.
Yeah. Well,
that's a lot.
Nice.
But it was still a good fight. It was decent, and
Pierce as a character, I think, was cool.
I was actually going to bring up a con
about Pierce.
About Pierce and in general of the game, voice acting.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, because that was a huge thing that Spikemuth could have been way better at.
Yeah, Pierce kind of
if there was
spiked that idea.
Yeah,
and I think even Marnie too. The rivals in general.
Yeah, I just want to hear voices, man.
Like when you meet the rivals, you're like,
I don't want to hear Hop's voice. I know what Hop sounds like. He sounds like every 6th grader you know.
He sounds like your typical shonen anime protagonist. I can hear it now.
Marcus drinking coffee. That's what Hop is.
Yeah, pretty much. Love you, bro. But no, the thing about it is, it's like that. It all just felt very underwhelming when it came to that group. So Marnie, Team Yell, Pierce actually gets his time to shine later on, so it's pretty cool. And Team Yell gets their time to shine too. It's just really weird.
Are you saying that the bad guys become good?
They're not bad guys. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's what Santi was trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Santi.
They're very underwhelming. So, yeah, I think Marnie, if I had to, like, rank worst rival to not as bad rival, Marnie's probably the worst rival.
So out of 4, Marnie's at the bottom.
I'd say out of 3. Like, not even talking about...
Because Leon, let's leave Leon out.
Yeah, let's leave Leon out.
And just talk about the main 3,
not so much
Bede, Marnie, and
Hop. Yeah, because Leon's not really a rival, as he is more just an objective to get to.
Bede?
No.
Oh, Marnie.
Leon.
Oh,
Leon's an objective.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you say that.
And then, so that goes to my second worst...
Are we going to talk about Hop?
We're going to talk about Hop.
We just talked about Hop for like 20 minutes.
So, chat, brace yourselves.
Yeah. This is a minute.
We're going to be here for a
while.
Hop
is quite annoying.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I've never seen a rival not use the Pokemon he got at the beginning so much. He never uses them until like every little other game that you fight him in. And the worst part is, guaranteed every town you go to, Hop, by the way, you fight at least twice.
Yeah.
Each town. This is before the gym battle that you're about to go into, which, by the way, will wreck your Pokemon beyond compare. And then at the end, when you talk to the young Professor Sonia, who says, "Why don't you prove it with a little battle?" And Hop's all like, "Yeah, let's battle, man!" And you're like, "Okay." Not again. Yeah. And then it's always the first Pokemon is that stupid Wooloo. And you don't see it evolve. Your Pokemon have probably already evolved 4 times.
Yeah.
Which is a over-exaggeration, I know. Quiet. But your Pokemon have probably evolved so much, and you fight his evolved Wooloo 6 gyms in.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's quite annoying. Yeah. And when you finally see that Wooloo evolved, and you're like, "All right, I'm proud of you,"
and then it still dies, and then like that.
And then you can still, like with me, I was the water type.
Yeah,
I went to the water. I went with a Sobble, and then Drizzle, and then I can't
pretty much Gex the Gecko.
Yeah, Gex the Gecko.
It's just Gex the Gecko.
Who I named Hopeye. He destroyed all his Pokemon at least 5 times in a round.
Yeah.
Each time. Just one hit. It was great. But Hop, by far, most annoying character in the game. Mm-hmm. I like the hype man.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Not that much, yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think...
It made me focus on my depressed child of a Pokemon the entire time because I wanted him more than Hop.
And the thing for me is, it's like, I think that Hop would have been better.
I'm probably screaming, and I'm sorry, guys.
I mean,
I am passionate.
Yeah, and it's fair passion. But the thing for me is, it's like, Hop, with his super enthusiasm and always constantly, it all takes one change. And in my opinion, could have been an easy change. Because, so we'll talk about the player character for a second.
Okay.
When the player character, so
us,
thank God, can change their skin color.
Oh, right off the bat, you were so happy about... I've never gotten the loudest text message in my life.
Yeah,
here I am. Bing, bing,
all
bing.
Caps. I can change my skin color. Yes.
It was so nice to see Malik not playing a white guy for once.
Dude. Or an Asian character. But the thing for me is, it's like, it doesn't just stop there. Because I remember early on I was talking, people were like, "Oh, well, maybe they're not going to let you change your skin color because of the parents and da-da-da-da."
Oh,
and I'm
yeah!
Yeah, and I
remember when we played side by side, and my mom was white.
Yeah.
And your mom was
And we have screenshots. Tan. Yeah, we have screenshots where both of us are player characters, but our moms are different, and it works.
Like, my mom had blonde hair, your mom had black hair.
Yeah, they still the same design.
Same design, same hair,
change.
Same like hairstyle and stuff like that, same clothes, but it was a skin change.
It was the skin change.
And I'm glad they incorporated it. We still don't have a dad as a Pokemon trainer.
It's a Pokemon standard at this point. That's like superheroes.
Pretty sad. Also D&D, but let's be honest.
That's true.
Everybody's an orphan murdering hobo in D&D.
In D&D, yeah. But the thing for me is, it's like, so if you can do something like that with the parents, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it for Leon to have different skin and different hair colors? He could still have the same design. But for instance, if it's someone like you, your older brother is Leon, but he's white, and he's got more of that like rusty brownish hair.
I really think that had more story base to it. You don't want to change too much just because the player chose a different race.
I don't think his skin color and his hair color had anything to do with any part of the game. I don't think any.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if you change the character design because of one choice that the player made, seems a little too much, in my opinion.
Because it'll make him your brother, which I think is the flip that makes Hop a better rival. Because if Leon was our older brother, because we were talking about this,
maybe
if Leon
really is.
No,
I'm just joking.
Not even. But if Leon was our older brother and Hop was our best friend, then Hop being so energetic to want to fight us all the time, I'd be more okay with it.
We touched on that earlier.
Yeah, I'd be more okay with it because then it goes back to what we were saying. It makes him seem like that rival that's like really trying to climb the ladder. But then it also makes at the end, I mean, spoilers.
Yeah.
But it's obvious you're gonna have to fight Hop before you fight Leon.
Obviously.
But
yeah, because when it comes to the champion, by the way, guys, there's a championship after you get all 8 gym badges, and you have to go through each character you fought already.
That one was interesting. Yeah,
and it's like, boy, I have to fight you again.
And I'll talk about that too because
I still haven't gotten there.
No, and but I think that's the thing for Hop is he's a good character.
If he wasn't the brother of the champion.
If he wasn't the brother of the champion.
Swap our roles, guys.
Yeah. I think if you swapped Hop's roles, he would have easily been...
And it would explain how white bread emotion we are as a player.
Santi said, or you're adopted.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that would make sense if we didn't have our own mom who looked like us. So...
I think if Leon was my player's brother, it would explain why he's so stale bred.
That's what we were saying. Yeah. That's what because that's what I brought up earlier. I was saying how
like if he
it would make sense because Leon would be in the spotlight and we'd be in the shadow.
You're like we're so used to it by now.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to showboat and stuff like that.
It's
I don't want to turn into my brother who's got. By the way, a cape that has sponsors on it.
Coolest design
which is
ever.
Quite a concept, if you ask me.
Coolest design
I want ever. Pepsi on the back of my cape, everybody.
Like, Cynthia does not compare to Leon's design.
No.
Leon is literally a walking king. He just walks into an environment and it's just like, oh, Leon's here. Oh my god, Leon's here. Also, that stance.
What is the...
It's the little...
It's too much for me. I can't...
I think it's a reference to Charizard. I think it's a reference to Charizard.
Wow, my hand is so white, the light doesn't pick it up.
It'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, so I mean, that's the whole thing. It's just changing the dynamic of Leon changes the dynamic of Hop, which makes Hop, in my opinion, probably the best rival in the game.
Yeah.
Because that loss to Bede was the moment where I went to you and I was like, okay, Hop's not that bad of a character.
Yeah. I remember getting that phone call, like, Hop's not that bad. And I'm like, well, really? He changes from being an annoying little brat to being
I was like, he becomes an annoying, depressing brat.
Just like my
Just like us. Oh.
I can relate! I can relate to someone in the game, finally! That isn't a Pokemon!
So I was just like, and he was going through that phase, and I was like, him going through that phase, and it's a kid's game.
Oh, this is a zoom up on me. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to read Rufon. Oh my god.
Game Freak sponsored Leon LI.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's probably on the cape. It's probably true. That's probably super true.
I want to go and look now to see if there's a Game Freak logo there. I want to see if there's a Game Freak logo.
We will look that up later.
Jojo helped me on my test today. It'd be like that a lot of the time because Assassin's Creed 3 helped me on my test one time. with the roundabout sound. Now we're bringing JoJo references in.
Yeah, we shouldn't be memeing right now.
No. But yeah, no, I mean, changing the dynamic of Leon changes the dynamic of Hop, and it makes him a great character. And it makes his character development of when he goes through his depression. Yeah, when he goes through his depression, it makes it a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Because what you can do is you can have Hop just be like, I never really knew what it was like to have someone to look up to. Yet your brother is so cool. Like, you don't seem... And it plays off of the character not being interested.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't seem so, like, hyped. The fact that your brother's the champion. And it's like, you know what? Fine. If you want to appreciate that your brother is the champion, then I'm going to be the best so I can challenge your brother. So I can be in that spotlight.
Yeah.
Like, it makes...
That would make sense. And also, like, it kicks off a new generation of a champion.
Precisely.
You have a younger generation, and... it goes in the big screen.
Yeah.
And you finally get that spotlight, and you're not used to it.
You know what I would have actually liked? And it would have been a really cool plot twist. I would have loved if by some... Because I know the way that it like works out, you have to fight Hop to become the champion. But I would have loved if some circumstance happened that caused Hop to beat Leon. And like he became the champion for like a quick second. But then you came and you stole it from him.
Already messed up. I think it's messed up that you end up being the champion because Hop wants it so much worse than you.
Like
I want to be champion. Yeah. And then there's you.
Then you're standing. Yeah, me beating Leon was kind of one of the most disappointing feelings because I was just like, I beat you and I beat your brother. Now your brother means that was nothing. Easy. And you lost the one chance you had to prove yourself.
And I feel like he had a better Pokemon development as a trainer than I did.
Well, okay, and that's the other thing. Because the thing with Hop is it's like, story-wise...
talked about Bede.
Not yet. Bede's interesting. I like where Bede's story went. And that's why Bede was more my favorite one. And I didn't mind fighting him.
He had closure really early.
He did. So the thing with Hop, though, is that... And I think this plays into Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Who dat? I can't read. I need my glasses, everybody. Hi. Yeah, I don't have perfect vision. I'm a PC gamer. I'm staring at screens all the time.
No, Dede says he was, I think, the first rival to completely overhaul his team a couple times, so that was nice. Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, he changed up his dynamic like 4 or 5 times.
But I think that didn't happen until after the depression moment.
Yeah, like he had to when he got beat by Bede, it was a complete.
Yeah, he was like,
I guess I just got to keep finding a different plan.
He was like, I got to just switch up my strategy.
All about strategy in this.
And the thing about that is, now this is to the anime and not so much to the games. But Paul from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, the anime, was kind of the same way, but he was a jerk about it. He was like, "You're too weak. You're gone. You're my new Pokemon." So he swapped out things. So it was nice to see that whole like swapping Pokemon in and out in a more positive light.
It showed that he was actually going around getting Pokemon. Yeah. But also he's an NPC. He's already got a pre-generated.
Yeah. And so you're right, Day-Days. It was really cool that he had that like overhaul that happened. I wish it happened more often.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I beat you.
I don't want to see the same dang Wooloo every time.
It's like, I beat you, but you come back with the same team I just beat you with. It's like that. It's like the SpongeBob meme. It's like, brother, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Like,
how many times do we have to teach this lesson? That's hilarious. We're memeing again. Stop it.
But it's true though.
It is true.
But it's true.
How many times do I have to put you in your place, Hop?
Yeah, it's like, dude, man.
And it's less of putting you in your place and realizing that this kid is just not good. Because you have to beat him in order to continue the story.
Yeah, it's not even optional fights.
It's not an optional fight. I mean, if you let him beat you, he's all like, "Come back."
For me,
I've never lost, but like also
for me, it's like the fight should have been optional. Because the thing is, the game introduces this false sense of choice.
Yes.
Like you can choose options, and it's like, no, there should have been full choice. Mm-hmm. You can choose to fight, and it changes his dialogue. Yeah. It's like, hey, you want to fight? No. Oh, okay. See you later, pal. And he disappears, and you do your thing, and he comes back. Hey, you want to fight? No. Okay. See you later, pal. And you continue to go after your thing. So what happens is when you guys get to that final bout, it's like
it's a lot more meaningful.
Yeah, because then it's like, you've been ignoring me for all this time, and I'm gonna prove to you that I'm worthy of your time.
And you can't say no this time.
Precisely.
But every time I fought him, there was no.
There was yeah.
But I still appreciate him as a character.
I do too. Yeah.
Because he was that hype man.
Yeah.
There was no one else really hype. There was, of course, Leon's big older brother moment. When he came up to me saying, "Oh man, I hope Hop's okay because you two are like the guys who I really want this championship to give to."
Exactly.
And if I were to give it to anybody, it'd be you two, and that's why I sponsored you.
Yeah.
And that because I saw that spark in you that I want, and I can't see my younger brother down on his whims because he lost a couple of times.
Day-Days, that is spoilers. I'll talk about that I'll tell you. It's post game. Oh, so it was a post game comment.
Day-Days, really? Come on, man.
Day-Days.
I'm one gym away.
But the thing is, and we'll talk about that, Day-Days, because
I can't read. He's lucky.
That was one of Hop. Like, it took me from like, okay, Hop, you aight, to, bruh, why are you in this game?
He already does he throw a Wooloo at it at the end?
No, I'll tell you what happened. So I'll spoil it for you, but we'll get there later.
Does he get the only Charizard in the game? Because screw you, Leon.
He doesn't. But I won't talk about that. So I'll probably tell you after stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, don't tell me. I want to beat the dang game.
All right, I won't tell you. Good luck finding out the
secret. I'm probably going to stay up late tonight.
So,
which, if anybody has any more questions and you have my number, give me a text.
Yeah, he's gonna be up for a minute.
I downed an entire energy drink. I'm up. I'm up and popping.
Oh man, and we've been streaming officially for an hour. So
has it been an hour now? Hey guys, first stream, and nobody's done a dab or a silly thing yet. And
don't you?
I was just about to. Malik read me like a book. But I first hour. Thank you everybody for still listening and paying attention to us.
Thank you.
We love you so much. It took 3 hours for both of us to set this up.
Yeah.
But mostly him. Yeah. I had to watch veins pop out of his skull. And you know what that means to me?
It means he gets scared.
I get scared.
He gets very scared.
Very scared.
So even, we're fresh.
But he did a great job. He did a great job.
I appreciate y'all sticking around for this first hour.
Yeah.
But we still got a lot to go. So if you're ready to roll.
If you guys want to hold tight for what, 30 more? Or you want to go another hour? I'm down for anything. I'm
down for another hour.
I'm having a great time. These guys are interactive. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm ready to go.
Please keep talking to us, guys. We will keep at it.
And we'll do our best to keep the communication flowing too.
Talk to each other. And we'll talk to you.
Yeah. Talk to each other too. I mean, your chat, communicate.
And if you got anybody else who wants to tune in, please.
Oh yeah, bring them in.
Don't be afraid.
So
we are afraid. Not
you are. I'm not. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much Hop in a nutshell. And we'll talk about so Day-Days we'll talk about Hop in his post-game escapades because
that's an interesting topic.
It's
but overall Hop second best.
Yeah, second. He's not the worst. He could have been the best.
I haven't seen his closure yet, so Bede definitely going to number one rival.
Number one rival.
He was like, who was Ash Ketchum's rival?
Gary.
He was my Gary in the game. Gary, whenever I saw Bede, I got disgusted. I was like, oh you again, you bully. But it was good to see where he ended up because he got double crossed really hard, real hard, and we all been there.
Yeah,
not by a chairman though.
It wasn't. I don't think it was.
It was the chairman's friend.
It was the secretary. And again, spoilers.
All spoilers. Oh yeah, we told you guys at the beginning.
We warned you at the beginning. So if you think this is spoiler free, no, this is a discussion. We're going to talk about some spoiler stuff. Some of the spoiler stuff we'll hold off for later if it's more important to our points. But yeah, I mean, Bede gets basically screwed over by the secretary. You find it out later on, and it feels bad. And I'm not going to tell you how.
And you see him get desperate.
Yeah.
And you see him, he gets real desperate and breaks down an artifact.
Yeah.
And then actually reveals more of the storyline, which thanks, Bede.
Yeah. I appreciate you for actually being the rival that pushes the story forward.
Yeah, you push the story as much as we could.
Yeah.
And then Opal, one of the gym leaders, because one of the gym battles, you're competing to be the new gym leader.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I thought that was interesting. I aced the entire quiz, by the way, because
really?
I aced it. I was
nice.
Impressed.
I didn't.
I guessed every single question. I was not paying attention to Opal at all during that, and I was just like, "What's your favorite color?" She's wearing pink. No, she's not. She's wearing purple.
She got the purple.
And she's all like, I like pink on everybody else.
Yeah.
Not me. Yeah. And I was just like, that's a character.
Wait, so she said that to you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did she like the color pink?
No.
Oh.
I'll talk about the gyms later.
Anywho. But Opal's looking for a new gym leader to take her place. Someone who's got the same sort of snappy attitude as her.
Yeah.
And she's a fairly old lady, so she's getting up there. She's not as good at battling.
Yeah.
And
her walk cycle into the gym battle.
Oh,
that poor old lady. I felt so bad.
It was so long.
I was just like,
she had a walker the entire time.
She was just like,
oh, she had a cane. Yeah. That's right. That had like a bird on it.
I was like, oh, well, why are you fighting me?
And when she Dynamaxed, she held the Pokeball like that. I was just like, oh, it's like that palm's got some strength.
Reminds me of my grandmother.
And then she holds it like a weird soccer ball and just yeet. It's like she just backhanded this old lady. Just backhanded this ball. But going back to Bede, Bede got double-crossed
Yeah.
and was desperate, so he tried, like, banging on the chairman's door for approval. And Bede is the only character I know in the game who doesn't have parents. He was an orphan.
Yeah.
And so he got picked up by the chairman.
Yeah. Which I didn't
and he was trying to
think
get
that was going to... And I kind of felt like that was the case.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh yeah, I'm sponsored by the chairman. And
there
it's
was
like...
no approval from the start.
And I was like,
And it was sad.
I was like, there's no way the chairman would sponsor you unless you have some kind of connection to them. And I was like, but you don't look like Chairman Rose.
No.
I was like, are you adopted? And then it was like, oh, well, and I don't think they outright said he was adopted, but it was more like he was taking care of him.
Yeah.
Like,
it was definitely the caring. It wasn't
it wasn't like a full-on adoption. It wasn't
like a father-son thing.
Yeah, but it was
because
more like...
he would have been fighting for it more.
Yeah.
But he this is a tough topic for both of us. Daddy. But B definitely was a dynamic character, everybody.
Yeah.
Because you saw emotion in him.
Yeah.
You saw he actually wanted to like beat you up in Pokemon battles. He wanted to eat you alive.
Yeah.
But, you know, you as the player kicked his butt.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, you know what? I just don't have time for you anymore. And then he moved on.
Yeah.
And that was the only way to get past him, was he had to say a snarky attitude thing. And I was just like, I hate you so much, B. And that's what made him a good rival, is because I said I hate you, but I smiled.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, because I felt like I related to Bede more than anyone, because it felt like everything he did was for approval.
Yeah.
Like, Bede wasn't selfish about anything.
No.
He was like, I'm doing this for the chairman. This is for the chairman. I will do this for the chairman. And it's like...
And he wasn't battling for the chairman. He was collecting wishing stars for the chairman. And then he was just doing the battling because he wanted to.
Yeah. The battle was probably the closest thing you got to him being selfish. And that was more for him to prove that he was good to himself.
And worthy for the chairman's
sponsorship. Worthy for the chairman's approval. And it was just like... I feel like Bede was a very relatable...
Someone said something?
No, it was just Santi. He said he was just chilling playing Xbox.
Noise.
But no, oh, there we go. Marty's best girl, and that's facts.
Oh, she was bae the entire game, dude! Oh, come on! I mean, she was totally hitting on us on everything. So
I did tell John, though, when it came to Marnie, that I felt like Marnie was like the character who was designed to be the like quote unquote love interest of the main character.
Oh yeah,
because it's it's a kid game, so it's
everybody's got crushes.
Yeah, so it was not like it was.
Oh my gosh, you like him?
Yeah, and beating her was always one of the cutest things because you'd beat her and she'd be like, She wouldn't even look at you.
She wouldn't look at you.
And I was just like, how dare you defy me? The satisfaction of looking in the eyes of the person.
She handed me 3 elite cards. I blushed. I was like, you gave me elite cards. Woo!
Well, I mean, hey, I'm not gonna say Marnie's not best girl, but she's not my best girl for Pokemon.
Sonia.
No.
Misty.
No.
She red.
In this Pokemon.
Oh, in this Pokemon. My bad.
This Pokemon.
Who's best girl?
There isn't.
Yeah.
No.
The ice trainer was cool.
Actually, no, I'm lying to myself. B, the fighting gym trainer.
I didn't fight her. Yeah. Oh, so, see, that's the okay. So we're wearing 2 different colored shirts, right?
Yeah.
Says colorblind John. And the difference is gyms.
Yeah.
2 gyms are swapped on either of us.
Precisely.
He had a fighting gym and a
electric. I think
electric.
I had
I didn't have electric.
Yeah.
And I had ghost and ice.
Yeah.
And those were tough fights.
Yeah.
Alistair was not easy, but he was weird.
He was easy, but I can't remember the name of the electric guy. But
not that it matters.
He wasn't cool. But yeah, no, I see the words best girl and I'm like, oh no. Some people call her Bae. But
what is it spelled?
BEA, like beautiful.
That's B.
That's exactly.
Like,
so B.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
B-A.
B-A.
Yeah.
So
it's not Bia.
No. But yeah, no, I think for me that's best girl, but best girls is a completely different thing. I mean, talking about best girls.
And this is once again a child's game, guys. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
We're not playing this for the romantic things at all. No.
It's not Mass Effect.
It's not. We're gonna leave that over there.
But yeah, no, I mean
that was not romancing. That was intent to pleasure. Anywho, Pokemon.
But yeah, I think with Bede, it was like he was a very relatable rival.
Oh yeah.
And it was cool. And the thing about it is, like when he became the gym leader, he didn't just stop there.
No.
Like, you fought him later on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And, yeah, you'll fight him later on, and you'll see the title Gym Leader Bede. And I'm like...
Rank up! Look at this guy. Oh, God. Please don't.
I was like, to have a title like that. Ooh. So, it was nice. Well, it was good, because it was just like... It was a character who I was like, you deserve better.
Yeah.
And
the
world gave
from
you
the
a short
start.
stick. Yeah, and he got something. Granted, he's stuck with Old Lady Opal, but I mean...
Does he stick with the pink trench coat?
Yeah, I won't spoil that. I won't spoil that.
God.
I will not spoil that.
He had a hot pink trench coat.
Yeah.
And I'm colorblind to pink, everybody. And that was pink.
It was very pink.
It was very pink.
It was like a magenta-ish, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was more magenta.
It was pink. It was bright pink. And he wore it proudly.
He did. But the thing is, I liked his design with that coat, though.
Yeah, because it was evil.
No, it wasn't evil, as it felt more like he was a utility-based trainer. Like, it felt like he had tools and stuff.
Because his Pokemon were unique.
Yeah.
And they were like, you don't get those Pokemon until later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool to see that he had Pokemon that were cool.
He looked like he was ready to go toe-to-toe with someone.
Opal's definitely changing his outfit. Oh, I can't wait to play.
I'm not going to spoil that.
I want
to play. Edwin says you're terrible. I'm terrible for saying that Marnie's not best girl.
Oh, he's probably, Edwin's probably talking to you.
You gotta be more specific about what I'm terrible about. But yeah. So I mean, Bede definitely hands down best rival in the game. And I wish he had more time to shine. Like, I wish it kind of dragged out more.
He definitely drove a lot of plot at the beginning. Yeah. And I really appreciated that.
I think he was the only rival that drove the plot.
Hop just hyped the plot.
Yeah, and Marnie basically got you into the 7th gym.
Which was a character development.
And kind of has some significance in the plot later on with Team Yell. And you're getting to that point right now, actually. Where
I'm fighting some surgeon right now, and I stopped. That's where I was at. I was fighting some guy on the random side.
Yeah, don't worry. You're going to get to a point, and it's...
He was wearing scrubs in the middle of snow. That guy's brave.
It's Pokemon.
I don't care. That's brave. I would not.
Oh.
Oh no.
He says you're terrible for Mass Effect.
For you?
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
You shouldn't have brought it up. He's probably talking about me.
Dede says, I did love that there was so much changing for the guard in the game. Oh, changing of the guard in the game. It felt like it was passing realistically in game.
Wait, what?
Changing of the guard.
Explain yourself.
What do you mean by changing of the guard?
While we wait.
Yeah.
I thought, well, by changing of the guard, does he mean the garb?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because he could have been talking about Bede's outfit change.
No, Bede has the same outfit until later on in the game.
Yeah, that's probably what he's talking about. They're talking about. Excuse me. Assuming.
We'll see. But yeah, like Bede and Sonya getting promoted. Okay, yeah. The changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I get what you mean.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so the legacy carrying on to other characters. Yeah,
and that's what we see with the champion.
And the thing about that is I appreciated it too, but the game was it felt so short that when the legacy kind of happened, it felt sudden. It felt like it just happened. And so it was kind of weird. Because it's just like, oh, blah, 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 Bede's a gym leader. And it's like...
Gym leader Bede?
And you're thinking, like, how much time passed since I captured these Pokemon and took out this gym leader that you're now a gym leader? And then it's like Sonya full-fledged...
4 days.
And then Sonya becomes full-fledged professor. You're like, how much time passed in the world before this events happened? So yeah, I mean, I liked it too, but if the game was longer, or I shouldn't say longer, but if the game had more content to it, it would have felt more worth it.
I do want to know his progression through the gym. If he becomes gym leader that quick, I'd like to know.
So we tackled the rivals.
Yes. Where are we at?
And I mean,
are we still doing cons?
We're kind of bouncing back and forth between pros and cons,
which is nice. I like that. We're flipping script flip.
Some of these things are like obvious things, like seeing the Pokemon outside of the grass. Like, we knew that.
That was cool. I didn't once again didn't study before playing the game.
Let's Go did that. So Let's Go introduced that, and we immediately were just like, if Let's Go is doing this, then we do this forever. Like,
I like that forever. I can avoid bushes.
I think for me it's like I like that I can maneuver around an environment because it's like it's good and it's a bad thing. I can maneuver around an environment when I need to, but there's so much fast travel later on that it's like it doesn't become an issue. Like the only reason why you would avoid Pokemon on your way to your destination is because you're just antsy to beat the game.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy, he was antsy AF.
Yeah.
But where are we at?
So I mean that's basic positives.
Yeah.
It's cool that there's autosave, but it can also be a bad thing because
Didn't we both turn it off?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both turned autosave off. We thought that was weird.
I think autosave is a good feature. I think I told you this. Autosave is a good feature for people who've never played RPGs before.
We're also just filthy casuals. So.
I mean, that's right. But the thing about it is, there's still a lot of Pokemon in the bushes that don't spawn in the overworld.
Oh, yeah, the exclamation mark and the question mark.
The secret Pokemon.
The secret Pokemon, the ones that you haven't found on the Pokedex yet.
Which you want to
those are
do
cool.
those because sometimes you get really rare Pokemon that pop up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is cool because it still has that feeling of the nostalgia of getting caught.
And what I found out about that recently was you could still avoid it.
Yeah,
because
it's an option.
A bill exclamation mark pops up in the grass.
Yeah.
And you don't know what it is, but you still see rustling in the grass. You see the grass moving.
Yeah.
So you could avoid it all you want.
Could.
If you leave the grass, it won't follow.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it looks like.
And it was cool because for the wild area, that actually has a level system to it where...
Yeah, well, you start at the front, it's like 20, and then you go up to...
Well, no, I mean, those who are in the grass themselves are like lower level, but those who are walking outside of the grass
are higher level. Like champions.
Yeah. So I was like, that was really cool. That was
a
really
champ
cool.
Go like this at me, and I'm all like, you're 70.
Yeah, because for me it was like, you're walking or riding your bike through the area, you see this random Pokemon just walking out in the open. You're like, you're out in the open probably means I shouldn't touch you.
The first Pokemon that you went for. When we first got the game, we started off playing internet together, and we both saw an Onix right off the bat. And we both went for it. This was so sad because Malik started out with a fire type. I started off with a water type. I beat the Onix right off the bat. This poor guy went through all his Pokemon and ran. It was sad. It was sad because you don't get the water type until later on. We had another Baboop.
Oh yeah, the Onix. Yeah. So Day-Day's just like, the Onix.
Yeah, it was funny. I watched Malik.
That was a setup. I feel like it was a setup because
it was.
It's a setup in my opinion because it's literally the first Pokemon you see in the open wild area.
It was a pop up and you went for it.
You're just like with your friends and you're like, ooh, like I could pick up an item. Ooh, I can pick up an item. Ooh, there's this den. And then Onix is just like, sup, and you're like, I know you. You're Gen 1. I'm going to catch you. And then
we all went for it.
And then you remember, that's right. I can only catch Pokemon of a certain level after getting certain badges.
See, that's something I didn't like.
Agreed.
I want to be able to catch that level 50 while I'm a 20.
Yeah.
If I bring him down to 1 HP.
Yeah. Like, I understand.
I know his guard's up. I don't care. I want the Pokemon.
I understand for the purpose of making sure that we don't blitz and kill every single Pokemon we come across. They don't let us get higher level Pokemon. But in my opinion, if you have a level...
that's part of the game.
Yeah, if you have a level 15 Pokemon and you somehow manage to lower down the health of a level 40 Pokemon without dying, and now you're about to catch it, make it difficult. Make them break out of the ball more often.
Yeah,
but
make the percentage chance lower.
Yeah, but let me catch the Pokemon because I feel like that was unfair. Make it
at least available.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want you to give me a gimme, but like I want a gimme. You know, seeing a Steelix, by the way, scared me. I walked over a bridge and then all of a sudden spawn Steelix, and I was like, oh my god!
Just like. No.
I was just like, the keeper of the bridge is floating right in front of me. But I like seeing the Gyarados. The Wildlands definitely was a positive to me.
That open area.
Seeing a Gyarados swimming and I can't reach it was quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But also, I liked it.
But it gave you hope.
Yeah, it gives you like there's a Gyarados in the water.
Yeah, because I remember when we were playing, I was at the shoreline, and I was like.
I still haven't used that water.
I was like,
that often.
I was what? Oh, the water function. Yeah. So for me, I was like, "There's a Gyarados right there," and I was like, "I'm gonna whistle to it." And the Gyarados got closer and closer, and so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna battle this Gyarados. Like, I'm probably gonna die, but this is gonna be cool."
Or his guard's gonna be up, and I don't care.
But he swam away, and I was like, "Okay, maybe I need to get something like
surf." The shoreline. Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I need something to surf or like go on the water with, and oh my gosh, there's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. We don't have the time.
Yeah, but anyways,
play the game, my friends.
I was just like,
for everybody watching,
I was like, I can't get him. So for me, I was like, all right, my goal is I'm gonna figure out how in the world I get into the water so I can get you.
Yeah.
And then later on, I realized I don't even have to worry about that because Magikarp evolves at level 20. So I was just like, Badoop, there's a Gyarados. Oh, what's this? Badoop, there's another one.
Oh, and wait. Your Magikarp leveled up? He evolved at 20?
At 20.
My Magikarp's at 30?
You leveled up your Magikarp to get to 30? Not using Pokéjobs, right?
No. Oh, yeah.
That's why. Yeah. Pokemon.
So I have to put them in my roster?
Yeah, and then so Pokemon have to be in your party and then go to a level above their evolution cap, and then they do the evolution.
Gosh.
Yeah. They don't do evolutions within boxes or
I wanted a free Gyarados.
All you have to do is just give it some candies. Speaking of candies, Day says because of the candies...
That a segue into candies?
Because Day had the comment. Because of the candies, you can overlevel so hard that it's weird that you can't catch them. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about the candies is I wouldn't say I misused it. I actually like how I use the candies.
That was a good concept to bring up. Overload.
Yeah, or the min-maxing with the candies.
And not having a repercussion.
Yeah.
Because in the older Pokemon games, if you were higher than the max level that you were allowed.
With your badge.
Yeah,
your Pokemon would just not do anything.
Your Pokemon would ignore you because they can literally step on you.
Yeah. And in this game, I think my cap level was 30. And
yeah, when you had your Square Bunny.
Yeah, and Cinderace, I believe, was 45. And just continued to do everything I needed it to do. So the leveling up was definitely, it was a positive and a negative.
I mean, I also didn't want the same Pokemon game as all the others.
Yeah.
It was nice that they didn't argue with me because that made the game enjoyable.
But it also made the game
less challenging.
Yes.
Yeah. And challenging once again. Who is this game for?
Well, and that's the
thing. We got a baboop.
You did. That's only for the traded Pokemon now. Yeah.
Oh wait, what?
I believe
if you trade a Pokemon, they're mad at you.
I think you have to fix the attitude of traded Pokemon.
Oh.
Because they don't have like a relationship
where
they probably won't like attack or anything like that. But even then, it's like, okay, I'll just camp.
Dude, this person's on their game. I like this.
So, yeah. So it's just like it took away. And that's the thing is like we're talking about challenge, and I think what they should have done with this game, and they know by now they should have done this with this game.
Oh yeah.
Is that they should do like other RPGs and other games with story and add a difficulty choice. Like the first thing you should do is choose like
play on hard.
3. Yeah, like there should be 3 levels where it's like Pokemon Trainer, Gym Leader, and Pokemon Master.
Or Champion in this case.
Or Champion, yeah. I guess Master was more of the anime thing. Yeah. But yeah, Pokemon Champion, Pokemon or Gym Leader, and Pokemon Trainer. And it's like the easy, normal, and hard. Because in my opinion, you can still make the game for kids and just make sure, they don't screw up and choose something that's not Pokemon Trainer. And that way, even for adults who want to have a casual experience, they choose Pokemon Trainer. But for those adults who want to have a challenge with the story, and I'm not talking the competitive, but with the story, Pokemon Champion. So you can have Pokemon Champion, so that way there's some difficulty spike to it. Because it's like, without there being a challenge, why am I playing the game after I beat it? Like, what else is there? Oh, well, you can complete the Pokedex. What does it mean? Like, what does completing the Pokedex mean? And I mean, like, I already talked about how I'm not a critic of the National Dex. Like, I don't care. But the thing about it is, it's like, the National Dex was never a big deal to me because completing the Pokedex never felt like a big deal to me. Like, yeah, I know growing up, we grew up with the slogan of gotta catch 'em all, but why?
Yeah.
Like, I never felt a reason. Yeah, you get things when you catch all the Pokemon, but I didn't really care. This game, I'm going to try my best to complete the Pokedex. Mostly because it's a new Pokemon game, and I want to try to do something new.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just like not being challenging enough. And how hard is it to add a difficulty level to it? Because for me, it's like, so if I'm playing on Pokemon Trainer,
well, it's a multiplayer game. So if you were playing on hard, that means everybody else should be playing on hard.
No, if you're playing on hard, the story will be harder.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
You don't team up with friends on story.
That's true.
So hard would only be for story content.
Like raid battles would be...
Raid battles will be neutral.
Same,
yeah. So raid battles will still be neutral. Or what will happen is raid battles will have like an average difficulty shift dependent on which level you're doing. So if you're playing the hardest difficulty and I'm playing the easiest difficulty and we did a raid together, so we would have to use our online link together, then that's when we end up having this like medium. It's like a good medium where it's not too difficult for me, but it's not too easy for you.
Yeah.
So that's a fix I think that could happen. But yeah. Did you really? Oh my gosh. Just invading chat.
I am invading chat.
Oh Lord.
That's me, everybody.
That's John.
I'm the first person to throw emojis in.
No, actually, there were some emojis.
I missed it.
You missed
Santi,
it.
where's my hearts?
No, I think Edwin was the first to drop emojis because Edwin was like, "Oh, there should be a mod for Gauntlet of Gaming," and he put the and I was just like, "No, not yet."
We'll get there, my friend.
So, talking about something that's actually not the game's fault, but it's still something that needs to be brought up, it's something we should discuss. And it's more apparent with this game than any game I've ever played, and that's Joy-Con drift. Joy-Con drift.
It's not Pokemon's fault, Malik.
No. I said that.
Yeah.
This is not Pokemon's fault.
Mm-mm.
It is definitely the fault of Nintendo, but it makes playing the game that much more of a pain in the neck.
I've only experienced Joy-Con drift once so far.
Lucky you.
And I'd like to say because I don't button mash.
Well, I mean, I play fighting games on my...
Yeah, and that's where the button mash coming from. And
how dare you? I'd like to say that I do intricate designs.
You're fine. No, I'm just putting a plain term for everybody.
Sure.
And that is Joy-Con drift is a user problem. Use that loosely. Only because we are aggressive people on these controllers that are very flimsy in design already.
So, no, I would not ever blame the user for Joy-Con drift because
it shouldn't happen in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at my PlayStation, look at my Xbox, look at all the other consoles I play.
And you have 12 controllers of each because each one broke. I was just joking.
No, it's because I like to play with my friends.
Yeah.
But notice how
sticky fingers.
The Nintendo Switch is the only controller I've ever had to verbally say that there's been a problem where my left analog stick has caused my character to move without me doing anything. Now, for movement reasons, that's not a problem. Where it's a problem is for Pokemon move selection. Because there's nothing worse than having a super effective move and a non-effective move on the same Pokemon, and when you're trying to choose one move, it goes boop and chooses the non-effective move.
Oh, yeah.
Or the opposite where it goes up. And I've had that happen where it was just like...
You're like, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want Iron Defense now.
Cinderace was... For me, I meant to use Cinderace's like Pyro Ball.
Yeah, that OP
which
move.
Is super OP, and it's the cinematic signature move for Cinderace.
And Snipe Shot is for... I'm never going to pronounce
for
that.
Gex the Gecko.
Gex the Gecko.
Just Gex the Gecko. And there's
like
nothing...
Leo Intel or something like that. Lukeo Intel. I don't know. Whatever.
His name is weird. He's not the best.
I prefer Drizzle. He looks my emo goth child who I like forever.
But yeah, so it's like, I want to use my super OP move, but then, my Joy-Con drift knocks it up to the next move, and lo and behold, not as much damage is done. And what happens next? Oh, hey, Cinderace is dead now.
Yeah.
Because the next move my opponent did was an instant.
And then you lost your advantage of turn.
Yeah.
Because now they go ahead of
you. Yeah, now they're there. I have to spend time trying to revive Cinderace, where I'm just like, please,
defense.
Breathe! I need you. Because I became very dependent on Cinderace.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's a case for most Pokemon games, is you become really dependent on that intro character.
Yeah, or the one character you like. That one Pokemon you like usually becomes your dependent. The game has to find a way to fix that.
Yeah, because I had to manually switch it. I needed my first Pokemon to not be my most powerful. Yeah. I wanted
some challenge.
I wanted to throw my tankiest character at first, and if he got messed up, then it was my most powerful character.
Gotcha.
Just because I preferred the design of the first one.
Yeah,
I didn't like the third evolution of Sobble. It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
because I don't really like humanoid-looking Pokemon, everybody. And that's what that is. A very humanoid-looking Pokemon.
We have our differences.
Yeah, I see that. Yes, I mean...
Blaziken for the win.
Blaziken was still a chicken, though.
Humanoid chicken.
What?
A humanoid chicken.
Yeah, and... I mean, Machamp did it right.
Yeah,
That's a humanoid-looking Pokemon. Yeah. What's another one?
But I think...
There was Hitmonlee.
All the starters are humanoid, actually. Well, not humanoid, but bipedal.
They're bipedal, but
specifically
the monkey one at the end was still a monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
right. What was his name?
It was Rillaboom.
Rillaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a monkey.
He was
it was a gorilla, but he started out as a tiny little chimpanzee.
Yeah.
With drums. And you know what his third evolution was? It was a gorilla with drums. Genius. There was no change in mood. My character went from very scared and sad all the time to very depressed all the time.
And then out of nowhere, a spot.
And then a spot. Yeah. There was no
and that's why
warning.
And that's why even with Scorbunny, I was still like okay with the design. Because Scorbunny was like that little kid who plays soccer.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the second evolution.
Oh, it was a ninja.
It looked like a ninja, but it was more of like it still had that soccer player feel to it.
He had that very Naruto run kid in him.
He looked like the kid in high school who did the Naruto run. And then you got Cinderace, who looked like the professional soccer or football, depending on because it's the UK, so football player. Yeah,
football.
So it was the professional football player. Like when Cinderace Dynamaxed, it was super cool because Cinderace's Dynamax like transformation animation was like the sliding on your knees, like screaming,
which was cool.
I forget what actually there are football or soccer players that's like a very iconic like move for them. It's like a victory thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know
every time they get a goal, they slide on their knees.
And unfortunately, I don't know who's like the main person who everyone.
I don't know the concept behind it because we don't watch soccer.
Yeah,
which is the downfall of.
But I still appreciate the design.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad they incorporated culture to it, which was really nice because I like seeing games that incorporate where locations and cultures in it, such as Monster Hunter had a lot of culture stuff.
Some culture, yeah.
And I liked that. I liked seeing a different thing, and then Overwatch threw in a couple of events that were like Chinese New Year involved, and they were actual costumes used in history.
Yeah.
Like the Magistar outfit for... I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure, for McCree. I looked that up, and that's still part of the history. And I was just like, that's cool that it's spot on.
Yeah, and that's what I like about Pokemon is that they're able to take culture and turn it into a monster form.
Yeah.
And they do it well. Some of them aren't the best, but I mean, when you've got like over, 1,000? Or is the number total like 800?
No, it's not 800.
It's got to be over 1,000.
Okay, yeah.
I think
I'd say because... 94 this game. We still haven't even gotten to that.
And 400 total.
And 400 total.
Yeah, and
that's
were still
dabbles from
and that's
each
still
other
cutting
game.
out from other games. So yeah, it's got to be close to 1,000.
It's got to be.
So I mean,
or a little over.
1,000 plus Pokemon. It's like 830.
What?
Yeah, so it looks like it's somewhere around like 830.
Oh, still in the triple digits, huh? Gotta bump those numbers up.
Not yet, but yeah, I mean long story short,
wow, that's so soon.
The number is high. Like, it's a high number of Pokemon. You're bound to have some bad designs.
Oh, yeah.
But you have a lot more good designs.
Chewtle?
Chewtle's a funny design.
Chewtle was an interesting design because he was so close to Squirtle. It wasn't even funny.
But no, I wouldn't say he was. But the thing for Chewtle, though, that's interesting, and we can talk about Pokemon design, when he turns into Dreadnought, it felt like there was a missing link.
Yeah, because of his teeth. There was no evolution of his teeth.
It's not even for that for me, where it's just like Dreadnought is supposed to be like this larger Pokemon, and Chewtle's a very tiny Pokemon. And it's like you go from tiny to big. Like, for instance, one of my favorite tiny to big Pokemon was Aggron, coming from Aeron.
Yeah.
So Aeron, it goes Aeron. I can't remember the middle one, if it was like Aragon or something like that, and then it's Aggron. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, Aeron's, on all fours. Second form's on all fours, and then you get Aggron, and that's a man. But the thing about it is, there's that link in between. Okay. You don't just go from baby to big, And I felt like that was something that was missing from Dreadnought, where either between Choodle and Dreadnought there should have been another design, or Dreadnought should have had another design that came after that.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't big enough.
Yeah, so
Excuse me.
That's my thing. Is it's it's no surprise, it's no shock that Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's a lot of corners that got cut.
Oh yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, I can't stand Greenit because I accidentally saw, for skipping that word, of it on Twitter, and I can't unsee it. There are other reasons to not like Greenit. I'm sorry that's the experience that you have to deal with now. Right. I'm very sorry that you had to deal with that experience. But Greedent as a Pokemon, like you were fighting Greedent for 30 minutes one time?
Oh, my God.
Sometimes there are just Pokemon that you're like, oh, this is an easy fight.
30 minutes of watching the squirrel fall asleep after every time I hit it with my most powerful attack, and it wouldn't go down. I couldn't change my strategy. Yeah. Because there was no strategy to change.
Else to do. Yeah. At least with Snorlax, it was, it was understandable because it's Snorlax. But,
yeah, he's big.
But yeah, I was just like, all right, this is going to be a long one. So,
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, I'm also very sorry for you.
Cannot believe I just read that.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I walked into that.
Yeah, you did.
Man.
Yeah, you did. Now, I'm going to walk into a con.
I can't believe it's not better.
I'm going to walk into a con, and that's the legendaries.
Oh, no, this is going to be a huge spoiler for me.
Zacian and Zamazenta. I'll try to keep it as spoil-free as possible.
No, do it. Everything is content.
But I want to talk about how Zacian and Zamazenta were kind of awkwardly introduced in the case of the story.
Okay.
Because...
Oh, at the beginning and then not at all for the rest of the story until the end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's even how it's handled in the post-game, I'd say. So this is the thing I'll say right here now. Don't expect to catch Zacian, or for you it's Zamazenta. Don't expect to catch Zamazenta until after you've beaten the game. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to beat the game and then go back through another process to get Zamazenta.
That's stupid.
Well, it's not as stupid as what I'm going to talk about when it comes to the post game. But anyways, the thing about Zacian and Zamazenta... No, we're not.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 1:40.
Okay.
But the thing for Zacian and Zamazenta that I didn't... Or Zacian. Some people say Zacian. But the thing about the two legendaries is it's like we already knew that they were going to be the sword Pokemon and the shield Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of interesting because I said before the game even came out, I was like, hey, what if I did some really cool artwork of what would the two look like if the two Pokemon fused? So like a dog Pokemon that had the sword and the shield.
We wanted to see a hero.
Yeah. Or like what would their hero character look like if they're like the two dogs were the servant of a hero and things like, there's so much they could have done with that. And it kind of felt like...
One guy holding a leash that
had the two dogs. Yeah, it felt like it was leading to this whole big reveal that Zacian and Zamazenta were like two loyal dogs of the hero that saved the world. And then the story kind of tries to play with that here and there. Like, it doesn't even feel like there's really a story until the end, where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, there was a story. Floop, go save the world.
Yeah, only one person that knew the entire story was Sonia throughout the game.
Or at least was trying to figure it out.
Which bravo for being the only one paying attention.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just like the way they were introduced was just like, bruh, you're trying to make a mystery, but there's no mystery. No. And so it's like, it was only a mystery for the characters and not so much for us as the players.
And believe it or not, the rest of the town. Like, the town.
Because everybody was oblivious to it.
Yeah, everybody's just like, oh yeah, there's one guy. But everywhere else, there's signs of two
people. Yeah. And the thing for me is it was like, because normally with legendary Pokemon, they're supposed to be legends. Mm-hmm. Like, they're Pokemon that are talked about. So when you, as the player, catches them, everyone's like, well, dang, all right, I'm going to bow down to you because you obviously know what you're doing. But with Zacian and Zamazenta, it was just like, nobody knows about them. Nobody cares about them. And their history was pretty much erased. And so it was just like...
The only other Charizard in the game was the legendary Pokemon.
You said the only other...
The one Charizard in the game is actually the legendary Pokemon.
No. Because there's not just one Charizard in the game.
Does that mean there are Charmanders?
Again, I won't spoil that.
If there's... I'm going to say...
Play the game.
Okay.
Split game. You'll get to the end, and I'll tell you a little fun thing once you get to the end of the game. But yeah, no, it was just like that for me. It was just like cool, legendaries. And then the thing about it, the legendaries, is it's like, okay, so we know the legendaries like existed in history, but how do we get to a point where we catch the legendaries? And how the legendaries basically show up, they basically pull a Goku from Dragon Ball, where it's like, oh my gosh, we're in this dire situation. And then, phew, bink! Did you call for a legendary dog? And I was like...
That's what I didn't like.
Really?
That's what I don't like, is that it was introduced at the beginning, and it sounds like, at the end, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's what I don't like.
Yep.
I like having them dabble every now and then. I want them to be an antagonist. I'm using that word.
The legendary?
Yeah.
I want kind of like a Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Where like Mewtwo was kind of antagonistic.
I want an antagonistic legendary Pokemon that actually makes me fight for it. Don't tell me that the battle for the freaking legendary in this game is harder than Champion.
So that I will confirm. Zacian and Zamazenta are the hardest Pokemon fight in the game.
They are gonna wreck me.
At least from my experience. Like, because I blew through the game.
Yeah.
The only time I was ever challenged was Leon and
Zacian. You said Leon wasn't that challenging.
He wasn't that challenging, but I started actually having to calculate how I was attacking him. So I was swapping Pokemon. The moment I'm swapping Pokemon means that you're challenging to me.
Got it.
So he was a challenge, but Zacian was a challenge because I was like, okay, I can lower your health, and then I'm going to try to catch you. And if I fail to catch him, insta-killed my Pokemon. And I was like, okay, next Pokemon, we're just going to keep trying to catch him because I didn't want to use the Master Ball. Because I kind of talked about it on Facebook. I was like,
I commented on that.
Yeah, I was like, I feel kind of dirty when I use a Master Ball, especially on a Legendary. And so I was like, kept throwing Pokeballs. Yep. And he kept broken out. So I reloaded my save and I was like, okay, there's got to be a way. Like, don't tell me it's impossible to catch him without the Master Ball. And at the end, I just got so fed up. I was like, Master Ball. Like, it felt like the story was forcing you to use the Master Ball. Which didn't make sense.
You only have the one?
You always only get one Master Ball. Well, minus the original Pokemon games where you could, do the cloning technique, and then that was a big deal.
Save data is another
corrupted. Con. Yeah, well, this whole save data con thing I don't even want to talk about because it's like, it's kind of just whatever.
Yeah, because you know how to get around it, but you don't want to do it.
Yeah. It's just an inconvenience.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So quick plus and minus at the same time, EXP share without a device. So your Pokemon all get leveled up so long as they're in the party.
And they have EXP share, yeah. I didn't hear you at first. I was like, what?
And so you caught the dog with a quick ball during turn 1. Day-Day's caught the legendary Pokemon with a quick ball on turn 1.
Challenge accepted. I haven't gotten there yet, so I have plenty of quick balls. Oh.
You can leave. You can go. But no, yeah, EXP share, like right off the bat I noticed it and I was just like, okay. I like it.
Yeah, that was right off the bat. I did notice that I was leveling up while using the one Pokemon that was stronger than the most. And that was the problem.
It was a problem, but it was also a benefit.
Yes.
Because...
But it made me lean on that higher ranked Pokemon.
Precisely.
More.
Yeah.
And that was what I didn't like.
It made me feel like there was no real reason for me to swap out my Pokemon. Because it was just like, oh, my main Pokemon's dead. Well, luckily, they've been tagging along and watching him fight. So now they're beefy enough to step up and kill the next guy.
I did enjoy that.
So, I think it's a great way for farming.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah, because you could put your low Magikarp in your team and not have to use them.
That, or you say you're doing like a stats build where you're trying to, some people, they play for stats. They're always trying to get Pokemon with the highest stats. And it's like, okay, that's cool. So what's the best way to start farming those, high stats Pokemon that you've bred? Because they're going to start off as level 1 if you bred them. Then you just put them in the party with your strongest Pokemon. And you just go kill some stuff. So I was like, okay, it kind of helps. And so it'd be like that.
Yeah.
So it's a plus, it's a minus. I think for newcomers to Pokemon, it's a plus because it means that they don't have to go through the whole grinding every individual Pokemon unless you get the EXP share device. But that's the thing that goes into the main con that I had. and they took out, and I'm not sure if this is new to the game or if it's been like this for a minute, but they took out the old traditional utility use that you had for Pokemon. So no longer does you don't have to have a single Pokemon have fly in order to fast travel now.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So what are you going off of?
Yeah, no. I'm saying like they took away the utility that came with your Pokemon. Yeah. So there used to be a reason why you had certain Pokemon in your party, and it's because they helped you traverse. So a Gyarados would help you surf, and then you would have like your Pidgeot to help you fly, and then you would have like a leaf type Pokemon for cutting. Mm-hmm. You know, there were these moves that
there was a bush in the way. Called out your
called out your Nuzleaf, have them cut it, move on. And so they took that away and then placed it with just mechanics in general. So for instance, gone is surf. Now your Rotom bike does the surfing for you,
which I didn't.
But you have to get the function later on.
Yeah, it was later down the line because then the wilds would become OPAF.
Edwin says, in Pokemon Blue, I would grind for a few hours to get my Magikarp to level 19 to 20 at the daycare. Yeah, and that's the other thing.
Oh yeah, the nursery isn't the nursery.
So the nursery isn't a daycare anymore. So that's why I'm saying they took away the fundamental.
I threw 2 Pokemon and forgot about them.
Yeah, they took away aspects.
They didn't level up.
And so you don't use surf to swim anymore.
Nope.
You don't use fly to fast travel anymore.
Because there's a taxi system in the game.
They have a taxi system, and your Rotom bike becomes basically
a boat,
a water boat,
a jet ski,
that you
if
fight
you will.
with something. And so it was like
I got that ability and flew through it. I haven't used it since.
It's just been. It's convenient for being fast, like for going fast sake, but it was very irritating because one of the things about it is one of my big gripes with Pokemon Sword and Shield is that the map is too small. Like routes are too small because in previous games,
so Route 6 is 20 steps.
Yeah, like if you go through Route 102, then you go to Route 103, then you go to Route 104.
10.
Yeah.
3. It's 104.
And I mean
that means something.
It usually means that there are way more routes.
Probably a Route 1. Out of 104.
But not that we'll experience. But it's just like, the routes were longer and they felt longer, which meant it felt like you were on an adventure. But for this game, it was like, gym has been beat, going through checkpoint. Checkpoint has been cleaned up. I'm going to the next gym.
Have you, since post-game, I was asking this from the start, is do you get to rebattle trainers?
I haven't tried.
Okay.
I haven't tried. So I don't have any knowledge on that. That would be really cool, though.
Maybe someone who's better than us, like Dede.
Yeah, I mean,
who
Dede's
caught the legendary with a quick ball, something that you couldn't even do.
I'm not a Pokemon master. Yeah. I'm a casual.
We're filthy.
Exactly. I need to shower. But yeah, no, I mean, Dede's or anyone else who's played the game, if you're aware if rebattling trainers is a thing, because I remember that was a thing in, I want to say...
it was not even in Diamond.
No, I want to say it was in the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald remake, where you had the phone. What it was...
yeah, and then they called you up and said, let's fight again.
Yeah, and it wasn't like every trainer, it was specific trainers who would rebattle you.
They're all like, yeah, we fight down the line, and then they disappear.
Yeah, so you'd call them, and they'll be like... Hey, I'd like to battle you again. Meet me en route, this, and this. And it's like, okay, cool. And then you go battle them. So it'd be really cool if that was a system. Because you do have a Rotom phone. Like, our characters have phones, but it's like...
Yeah, our Pokedex.
But you don't contact people anymore. Gone are the days of contacting people.
Freaking the millennial view in the... Excuse me, Gen Z.
Oh, that's just you being an okay boomer.
Yeah, no. I'm seeing 2 kids on a train not talking to each other. They're on their phone.
Get over that.
I lost it. I was just like, these are kids. This is ridiculous. Talk for once. You're right next to each other. Stop texting.
You sound so old.
I'm pretty old.
Let it go.
No.
But no, that was my problem,
I didn't have a phone until I was senior.
Okay, boomer. But that's my problem, though, is like, the game took away a lot of what made me have to think about what Pokemon I had. I needed to traverse certain ways. Mm-hmm. I had to go on long
journeys. And you
had
to have them in your inventory.
Yeah.
You couldn't, it wasn't an option not to.
So that's the thing, is that this is another one of those, it's good and it's also not so good. You have 100% access to your box. Minus, like, being in a Pokemon, or in a Poke Gym. Like, being in a gym, you can't access your box. You can access your box anywhere. Anywhere.
Wait, that actually works?
Yes, you can be on Route 6, and then you can just pop open to your Pokemon tab, hit R, you have your entire box right there. So you could swap out your entire team if you wanted immediately. Which is, I like it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
But it's also not the best thing. Yeah, dude.
No, I saw that we had the device.
Yes.
But I never got it to work.
Go to your so when you go to the Rotom phone, go to Pokemon, hit R. Yeah. You have full access to your Pokemon.
I'm such a dunce.
Marcus said, I'll be back going to make food, but I'm going to try and get you more people in here. Oh, you don't have to.
I love you, Marcus.
We're not farming for viewers. We're just trying to
We're having a good discussion panel right now.
We're just trying to talk.
It's more reaching out to our friends who can't see us all the time. And like Rufon.
Yeah, who's
you haven't seen
miles away.
Ever.
Yeah.
And now you're getting to, and you're realizing, like, that is a nice beard. Wow.
It's connecting the... You're right. It is a nice beard. So what else? Let's see. It was really cool that there's a guy who does the nicknames and they're learning and forgetting Pokemon.
That's cool.
Every Poke Center. I thought that was cool. I don't think there's any disadvantage to having that.
And Poke Centers in general, by the way, having all three things in one building.
Yeah.
I thought about that since Emerald.
Yeah, that was cool. So no longer do I have to go to the Poke Center to heal my Pokemon, then leave the Poke Center to go to the Poke Shop.
Yeah.
To then have to, or Pokemart. I think they were called Pokemarts. To then have to buy stuff. Now, here's the thing, though.
You can't buy ether.
Yeah. So it was cool that everything was there, but it felt like some stuff was missing.
Day, can you buy ether anywhere?
Yeah, Day-Day's, because you're like, right now, you're our current Pokemon.
You are our master in our group right now.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever found a shop where I can buy ether.
Nope. I haven't.
And
I was the one that found that ranked match uniform.
That's true. Yeah. So you found a secret.
I talked to everybody. For some odd reason.
I just got so bored that I didn't talk to people.
No, you were a shut-in. You played shut-in. I'm so sorry.
But I did some side quests though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I did side quests, but it got to a point where I was like, these side quests don't do enough for me to actually warrant doing them. So I stopped talking to people. But the thing about it is, most of the ethers that I got, or things that restored my PP, was like I had to talk to people to get them. They weren't sold. And it was like, that's kind of sucky, because if I've got a Pokemon I really like, and, I really want to keep using their moves over and over again in a gym.
Toxicity for you.
Oh, yeah, Toxtricity. Like, Toxtricity.
A poison and an electric? Yes,
a poison and an electric. More. And if you use the music-based moves, he gets a boost. Or she gets a boost. Because I think you have a she and I
have a female.
Yeah.
Which I'm super cool with, but I wish the blue mohawk was on a female. I want Nidoking and Nidoqueen colors more. I want a pink king and a blue queen.
You get that enough.
Not in Pokemon.
For now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was like, there's no ether. Why is there no ether? So it was kind of irritating, but I got over it, honestly. It was just like, it was whatever.
I found myself finding Poke Centers too often to actually not care about ether.
Well, it's not that you found Poke Centers too often, as it was more that each town was so close to one another that it felt like they were.
It's probably why they took it off, so you actually had to walk into the Poke Center.
Probably. Well, that's
because you could go the entire game without walking into a Poke Center if you had ether.
Yeah, because you can do camping. You're so right. You can just camp.
You could camp.
Yeah, and it revives your Pokemon too.
And it also raises their PP sometimes.
Yeah, you toss one berry in there. You cook a good meal. You revive. If you had one living Pokemon with 5 health and 5 dead Pokemon, it revives them and it heals them. So I was like, all right, camping's a cool mechanic. I appreciate it.
I've been staring at chat waiting for Data to respond.
Here's a problem with camping though. The world's not big enough for it to matter. Because the thing about this Pokemon league that you're going through with the 8 gyms
and it doesn't give you enough XP for your Pokemon while you're sitting in camp anyway. So it's like, why does it matter? Besides,
it's not supposed to.
It's building a relationship.
Yeah, it's not supposed to give you, because then people are just gonna farm camping and it's gonna become this big issue. But my thing is, it felt like we are almost 2 hours, but it felt like for this game, the hunt to get the 8 badges and fight the champion, it felt like it was
rushed,
like a Spartan race.
Oh yeah,
it felt like it was one of those races where it's like
you had to get
they fire the gun and it's like, all right,
go on your mark, go, get set, fireworks.
Yeah, And the thing about it is, it's like, you hear the dialogue, and you hear that these Pokemon gym battles are supposed to be grueling. Like, when you watch the anime, these battles are grueling. People lose. Ash lost so many times. Just recently this year, Ash finally won a championship. And so it's like, if these,
That shows you how much I watch that anime. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Ash never wins, in my opinion.
Ash wins, he just doesn't win a championship. But the thing for me is,
it's like... That doesn't mean he's the master, though.
No.
That means that he has to continue in story. And he will always be 14.
That's a different theory that I'm not even going to tackle for this. But the thing about it is, it's like... It just feels short.
Yeah.
It feels small, and it doesn't feel challenging.
Is one of your cons on there also linear?
It kind of goes into that.
Yeah.
It's short because it feels linear.
Yeah.
Or because it is linear. The game literally says, cool, you did that thing. Go that way. And it's like, well, I want to go this way. Go that way. And Pokemon games have done that before, where it's like, oh, you can't access this area. And it's like, oh, I get it. There's a tree. I don't have the item to cut down that tree. Makes sense. No, in this game, it's just Team Yell's blocking you. And usually it's just 2 Team Yell grunts and a Pokemon. And it's like, I could walk around you. The only inconvenience is that you're yelling at me. How is that an inconvenience to block a player from doing anything?
Team Rocket used to close down routes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they would shut stuff down.
They would shut stuff down. I miss Team Rocket. I miss how annoying Team Rocket was.
I just miss having a villain.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
And I feel like they did it on purpose. I still haven't beaten the game.
You'll beat the... There are antagonists that are in the post-game.
Okay.
But they're not
villains. Post-game?
Yes.
Annoying.
I'll tell you. There are antagonists that are in the post-game, but they're not even villains. Like, there are no villains in this game.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do I care then?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's that. And then Rivals, we talked about that. We kind of talked about the fashion, but I mean, the fashion's whatever. It's not super big and it's not super small.
You are what you eat in the game.
Yeah, you just do what you want.
Yeah.
We talked about the camera. I
love the camera.
I like how when you get a new item in the game, it tells you
the
tip.
Yeah. The tip right off the bat.
It gives you the tip on it. So if it's like an evolution stone, it'll be like, give this to a Pokemon and they'll evolve. Or if it's like a stat booster, it'll be like, this stat is, to be held by a Pokemon.
Here's an evolution stone. It oddly has a leaf on it.
Yeah, so it tells you what to do.
That's a grass type Pokemon.
And I was like, that's cool for both new players, returners who haven't been here for a while, and for people who are getting introduced to new items they've never seen before. So I was like, that's probably like the one thing I can't complain about.
All of that.
Yeah, I was like, that's probably one aspect of this game I cannot complain. And I don't know if previous games did it. And I know
you had to go back in your bag and find it.
Yeah.
That was the thing about Pearl
the older games.
Hated.
Yeah, that was the older games that we played.
Going back in my bag was the worst.
Because it's like, do, you got this thing. It's like, awesome. What does it do? And then it would like go to dialogue, and you're like, thanks.
Wait, what number TM was that? Oh my god.
And so you forget, and it tells you what new items you have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. I wish though for like your bag storage, it had like a mark all as like red type of option. Because sometimes I get like new berries, and I don't care that I have to look at the new berries. I just want to press a Y button and mark all as red and leave it like that.
I know people put chat as fast, but I don't think that changes it. You can change the chat speed, and you can skip it right away.
No, because what it is, you have to like hover over the item for a certain amount of time for it to.
You're talking about when you get something new in your bag.
Precisely. Yeah. So yeah, I was talking about how good the user interface is. Like, it looks clean.
Oh, yeah.
Good. The one thing that I didn't...
The camera lock in some parts was alright. Also didn't really need it in some parts.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is the town, I should be able to look around.
One thing I didn't like when it came to user interface, so there's a support now with battle systems where it tells you ahead of time when a Pokemon's move is super effective, non-effective to another Pokemon.
The grade.
And I thought that was awesome. The problem was it disappeared sometimes.
Yeah, because you didn't know anything about the Pokemon.
No, it would happen mid-fight with the same Pokemon.
Oh, that never happened to me.
So it was weird. And I don't know if it's just because I had a weird experience, but I thought it was a cool mechanic.
You definitely had a weird experience.
Probably. But I thought it was a cool mechanic where
it's keeping up.
Or you know what? Maybe it was that. Maybe it was a Pokemon I'd never seen before it happened.
When I found out that I was battling trainers that had Pokemon that I've never seen before, it would be blank.
Interesting.
But if I was fighting that Pokemon in the wild, it would show me if it was super effective, non-effective, or effective. But when I was fighting a trainer, it wouldn't say anything if it was a new Pokemon to me because it's supposed to be a fight. I can't read my Pokedex right off the bat. Yet in the anime, I remember when the first little bits of it, Ash always pulled out his Pokedex. Oh my gosh, is that a Charmander? I've never seen one of those. And then the Pokedex tells him what it is. Yeah. You can press info on what it is, but it's blank.
Yeah.
If you want to find out what it is, it'll tell you the name.
You got to have a game mechanic somewhere.
Yeah. And I would appreciate a scan right off the bat. That way, it would take away. It would actually take away that grading if the Pokedex read them. That would make you read the info, find out what type they are, then know what powers to use from your Pokemon to attack it. So it would add a little bit of more of a research part of it in the fight.
I mean, for newer players, I'd say no.
That's tiring, yeah.
Because you're asking because for returners who are, coming back to the series, we know what obvious matchups are. And even if you were playing later games like Diamond, Platinum, and Pearl, or later than that, actually, where they start having, like, dual types, it's like how dual types work either way.
Toxicity.
Or even Dreadnought.
Yeah.
So it's like
Dreadnought was a rock and water, which was interesting.
Which means that his biggest weakness was Leaf.
Yeah.
Which was funny because I didn't have any Leaf Pokemon.
I still don't have.
You just gotta look for them.
Yeah.
You just gotta find
that,
them.
And I haven't found one that I like.
That too, yeah. So that's the thing is, it was like I thought it was still
preference matters in this game a lot.
But I still thought it was cool because there were moments where it's just like, this move is super effective. This move is just effective. This move is not very effective. And I'm like, my objective is to catch this Pokemon. I'm glad it tells me this move is not very effective because now I can use this move. So I thought that was cool. We talked about camping. And then there are some Pokemon trainer battles you can skip. Like, you just need to know how to move them around.
Move around.
Because if you get close
I found that fun when I was at Wake at like 2 a.m. Because I didn't want to battle. I just wanted to get to the part and save.
So you just kind of like... It was like playing a Dark Souls game where it's just like, how do you dodge against the boss that you're about to fight? And then we talked about how the box was accessible on the go. So this is the thing that
I have notes about that.
Been pushing off. And it's the sounds. So
this is the biggest problem in the game.
So we pushed this off because it's another one of those like
this is a conversation that will take another hour.
Yeah, this is probably equivalent to the hop conversation. So it was very jarring to me that, and this sounds talks about both Pokemon and characters. Characters should have been voice acted in this game.
We agree.
Yeah, the character designs are too amazing to not be voiced in this game. And I know that they can do it. They just didn't do it.
Nope.
Which kind of makes me... I would really be disappointed if in the next Pokemon game, whenever they release it, there are no voice actors still. Because it's like, at this point, now you're just asking for no one to want to play your game.
So, what he's mainly talking about for the problem of the not having...
Oh, outside of the characters.
Outside of the characters. I thought the characters definitely needed voice acting. Only because I'm a huge fan of voice acting.
Yeah.
But when it came to the Pokemon, we know about the hideous versions of Pokemon that came out before Sword and Shield, which were Pokemon Eevee and Pokemon Pikachu.
Yeah, Let's Go's.
Excuse me. And boy, did they know how to put it in the game.
Yeah.
They know how Pikachu sounds, and they know how Eevee sounds, but they don't know how everybody else sounds.
Yeah.
Because everybody else has that classic, that weird
They're
noise.
Like sprite animal sounds.
Yeah, sprite animal sounds that, they reverbed way too much. And then I got to a Pikachu. And what did it do? It jumped at me and went, Pika, Pika! And I said, mother... You cannot talk. That is not allowed. And then I found an Eevee, and what did the Eevee do?
It did the same thing.
It did the same thing, but Eevee.
Yeah.
And every time I came across one of those Pokemon, I literally yelled at my Switch and said, shut up, you're not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Because everybody else can't.
And it was just irritating for me, because when the whole controversy with the whole Sword and Shield...
Yes.
They're copying sprites or they're copying animations, they're copying models and things like that. And for me, I was like, you know, is that always a bad... So I realized that the argument wasn't they were copying, as it was more that they were copying, but not putting more Pokemon in. Because their promise was, oh, we had to cut out this Pokemon to add for a better experience. Yet you're copying models of Pokemon, so where are you really giving us more if you're copying? And for me, I kind of let that argument go. And I was like, it's a Pokemon game on the Switch. I'm going to buy it anyways. I understand. Like, I understand the criticism that people were saying.
Actual Pokemon game on the Switch.
Yeah. You know, people were complaining about it. Rightfully so. People were saying, you know, they were boycotting it. Rightfully so. But at the end of the day, it's Pokemon on the Switch. I haven't played since Diamond, Platinum, and Pearl. I'm playing the game. So I bought the game. But I'm not discrediting their argument. And so when Pikachu and Eevee made their sounds, which I'm assuming came from the Let's Go game.
Yeah.
It made me upset.
Yeah, we both assumed that they came from the Let's Go games because that was the recent Switch mods.
I mean, I didn't play the Let's Go game. And you get something like a treat if you played the Let's Go game. I think you get like a Gigantamax Pikachu or a Gigantamax Eevee.
That's cool.
Which those making the sounds would make sense.
Yeah, if a gigantic Pikachu said Pika, Pika,
yeah,
I would have been
that would make a lot more sense.
But if a Pikachu I found randomly in the wild goes Pika Pika, I'm gonna lose my stuff.
Yeah. So it was like, how hard is it to get voice actors then? Because I think we were saying like you only need 4 types of voice actors: 2 female, 2 male, and you needed 1 to be bass, and 1 to be, I think it was
tenor.
No, it was
No, you needed 2 tenors and then baritone.
No, I can't remember what I said, but
yeah, we narrowed it down to 4 voice actors and 1 24-hour
basically
day.
You just need 2. You need male, female, low. Male, female, high.
And at least...
Sopranos, that's what it was.
Sopranos.
Yeah. You need a male and female soprano, and you need a male and female bass.
Yep.
And that's all you need. And you get a wide range of Pokemon from there. And since there's only 400 Pokemon in the game, you could pretty much split that up. And I think, we were like within 3 to 4 days,
days, if
all you were doing was
male
recording
and female
those voices,
for each. Yeah.
You're good. Because
some of them didn't even have mouths to talk out of.
Yeah.
I know the teacups had a tongue hanging out of it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we'll get to another... That's a different story.
That's a you problem that you
have.
I
dislike that. Pokemon should not be inanimate objects. I'm just leaving it there. Anywho, voice acting.
But yeah, so I was like, there should be some voice acting, not just for the characters, but for the Pokemon. Because now you're creating this disconnect where it's like, oh, Pikachu and Eevee are so special. And it's like, why? Because they had a Let's Go game and you wanted them to feel represented in this game? Like, no.
It's marketing.
Who's it marketing to?
Not us.
Yeah.
Because we hate it.
So, I mean, that wasn't as big as a deal as the hop, but it was still just like, why? Because when it happened, both of us were just like, why? Oh, so this was something I came across, and I thought it was actually really adorable.
What?
And I don't say things are adorable that often, but I thought it was cute how there was one of the parts where you ran into the Pokemon kids, and the Pokemon kids were wearing the Eevee and the Pikachu onesie, which that's how you show representation of your Pokemon game.
I agree.
With the Pokemon kids wearing those 2 costumes.
They were fans.
Now, no joke, I fell for the trick of thinking that one of the Pokemon kids was a Pikachu. Because of the way that he was in the grass moving around. I was like, wow, that's a really fast Pikachu. And I was like, this is a trainer.
This is a trainer.
And it was like Pokemon Kid. And I was like, that got me.
Going back to the furry concept.
And I like that. Well, no, there's always been the Pokemon Kids.
Yeah, definitely.
There's always been the Pokemon Kids. But this time it felt like it actually was a mechanic in the game. Yeah. Because it's like, you found what you thought was a Pokemon, but it was actually a little kid.
And it was in the bushes because you could see Pokemon in the bushes.
Yeah, you can only see like the back of them. So you had to pay very close attention to how they looked. And you also had to pay attention to the fact that they moved in a pattern, which meant they weren't a Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, that was pretty impressive.
Good going, Nintendo.
So I like that. Game Freak.
Game Freak.
Yeah, I was like, I like that. We talked about not using fly and other utilities. Pokemon effects don't stay on the screen long enough. Okay. So, every Pokemon has an ability. And when the ability pops up at the beginning of the fight, it'll say like, this Pokemon, used Intimidate or something like that. So like Gyarados, for instance, has Intimidate, and then it would say that, and then it would say the enemy Pokemon, I think Intimidate lowers their, I want to say, attack.
Defense.
Does it lower their defense?
Probably.
It lowers one of their stats. It didn't really matter to me because I still one-shot them anyways. But
I never used any of those buffs.
Oh my gosh. Edwin says confirmed Malik likes furries. No, it's not at all. Shut up. Not at all the thing. But ooh, I can't wait to end this stream.
He gonna beat me up. Someone call the cops for me because this is going down.
But yeah, so the thing for me was like, it would say that the Pokemon has the ability, and then the effect would be on screen, but it would be on screen and then gone. And I was like, do I need to like slow down my text to see it? But the problem is when I slow down text, it slowed down text for everything. So I was just like, no, that's literally just that part of the fight. That instance of the menu is too fast.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not so much that it's too fast as it is more, they should allow us to press A to skip. Like, you should be able to keep pressing A to skip dialogue. Because I was sitting there and I was like, okay, it's introducing the fight. Here's the Pokemon. Pokemon did their ability, and the ability is gone. I didn't even know what the Pokemon did.
The passive ability that Pokemons have, yeah.
So I had to, like, actually look at my Pokemon's passive abilities and be like, oh, that's what it said it did.
You can read their Pokemon passive abilities, too.
You can, but the thing for me was, like, when a menu pops up,
it should stay
there long enough for me to read it, because I shouldn't have to hunt down for the information now. So that was just a quick nitpick that I had.
I was just trying to get that, though. Earlier talk.
What?
I wanted to look up information.
And you can.
Yeah, and you can.
And you can.
The technology is there. The information is there.
The game should present you the basic information you need to know up front.
Like,
and then...
Oh, Sandstorm came from his passive ability.
Yeah.
Bam.
And then from there, it's just like, okay, well, what does Sandstorm do? Yeah. So that's the research you would do. But all weather effects have a thing.
Which I found myself doing.
The gym mechanics. So
minigame?
The minigames?
Oh, those were great.
I really liked that.
It was an homage.
I think the only one I didn't like, there was one I said I didn't like, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I can't remember what. Oh, it was the traps one.
Oh, that was the fighter for you.
For me, I believe
it was ice for me.
I think you're right. I think it was the fighter for me. Because I think
it was whoever.
Because I think electric for me was the pinball one, and for you, Alistair was the pinball one.
The fighter one was the pinball one because you said it was a boxing glove that punched you up.
I guess I'm not sure.
And then the electric one
was for the traps.
Would have been the traps.
Yeah. Either way, that was my least favorite one. I don't like mini games where it's like
when it's based on vibration.
It's just like oh, you have to try to not fall into a pitfall, and it was just like
I fell 6 times.
I just gave up, and I was like
falling.
I just kept going through the pit, like finding pits, and then I was like, okay,
I found way.
I didn't battle as many people
6 times, Malik. That was the one puzzle I kind of liked.
I didn't like that one. Yeah, I liked Opals with the quiz.
Oh yeah.
Now,
cool.
But here's the thing though, and this goes back to earlier when we were talking about how this game should let you make choices, and the choices should affect certain things like dialogue, because Opal's gym. When you do the quizzes, so Opal's gym, every time you answer a question right, you get a buff, and every time you answer a question wrong, you get a debuff. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool because it felt like I was being rewarded in a gym for being knowledgeable. Then I realized the questions were just ridiculous and out of nowhere, and they had nothing to do with Pokemon whatsoever.
And they were mostly about her.
Yeah, and it was just stupid. But it was also fun because it goes back to this is Opal's gym. Mm-hmm. Her whole thing was it's an audition. So I thought that was cool. But it just sucked because when you were telling me what Opal said when you got all of them right, I realized she said the same thing to me when I got some of them wrong. Because I said pink, of course, because I didn't think about it.
Her whole gym was pink.
Yeah.
I was.
It's a version of expectation.
Pink. I was about to guess pink, but I definitely recalled hearing, you should wear more pink, but I look good in purple.
Well, that's what she said after you answered it right. So I was like, okay, all right. I guess the gyms have no meaning when you get everything right or wrong. So it was like, whatever. It got to a point for me where it was like, honestly, there's no reason to not fight everyone in a gym. Some of them you're required to fight all the people, but others you can avoid people.
Dragon gym.
Yeah, there are some where you are like, you have to fight people and some where you don't. And at the end of the day, for me, it was like, you might as well just fight everyone because then you can have all your Pokemon leveled up, and you can just heal them, and then you can go into the final bout.
Dragon Gym was a bit underwhelming for me. He did not bust out one dragon type.
It was cool though. He had some dragons. Raihan? They just didn't look dragons to you.
They just didn't look dragons.
But the thing for me though,
I was just like, is that a dragon? I guess it could be a dragon if you look really hard.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool that Raihan did twin battles though.
That was fun. Oh man, really I enjoyed that.
So I was just like,
ooh, a dig, and then sniper shot.
Yeah, I was like, that's really fun because
twin battles should be a lot more in the game. I think
twin or trio battles should also be a thing.
A trio battle.
There used to be. Oh man, I can't remember which game it was, but there used to be a way where you can have 3 versus 3 in a Pokemon battle.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean they're doing it with the mobile game.
I do remember that. I think that was Pearl.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know which game it was, but I'm
Is that a Baboop?
But the thing is, there should also. And I haven't played further in on the online to know if there is like team co-op against difficult AIs. But there should be team co-op so that way we could do combo moves, because that's something they introduced in the game is a combo move. But the thing for me is, it was like combo moves don't mean anything unless I'm playing with someone who's gonna do part of the combo.
Yeah, which is in raids where we screwed up because we kept using our OP characters, and it just so happened mine was water, yours was fire.
Yeah.
So when you lit up the whole place,
I just weakened
with heat. You weakened me.
Yeah. So I mean, collaboration and communication.
Yeah. Going with a squad that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, but so it was cool. Every gym had their own thing, and it was kind of fun, and I actually liked it.
Yeah.
And I hope it sticks. I hope those mini games kind of stick. Where
are we at?
But like 2 hours 19.
Hope everybody's awake still.
Oh, they're fine. Everyone's probably playing games while watching.
Luckies.
My thing.
Next time we'll do a live stream where we're playing a game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Super Smash Sundays, everybody.
Yeah, if we can get it working.
It's true.
But the thing for me was that they all felt too easy.
All the gyms?
The gyms felt too easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they felt too easy.
I felt totally underwhelmed in all of them.
Because for me, it was just like, I beat a gym leader. Not, I beat the gym leader! Yeah! Because the thing is, the gyms are supposed to be hard.
Yeah, I didn't ever catch myself saying, it's about time.
Yeah. Because the thing for me, it was like...
I never lost.
When you think about the average human being in a Pokemon world, who's like us, they normally win, I think, at most 4 badges. In like the world of Pokemon...
That's how many I got in Emerald.
I think in Pokemon... If you're an average human being, so like if you don't have plot armor, the average human being wins approximately 4 gym badges, and then something either happens or they're just not good enough, and you find out that they stopped.
For me, it's both.
Or you get that one rare person where it's like, yeah, I got all 7 badges, and I think there is one character where he's like, yeah, I've got 7 badges, and I want to challenge Raihan, but I don't think I'm good enough.
That was Hop.
And I was like, well, no, it was a different NPC.
Oh.
But. I was like, that's the thing. These characters make it seem like...
It's challenging.
It's challenging, but then you go through it and you're
Once again, our stalebred player standing still going, oh, I got this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's tough? Okay.
And then when he sits
and then you just pull a one-punch man and you just go... Yep. You're dead. So,
what else you got? We dabbled a lot.
Yeah, we kind of cleared a lot of stuff off the list.
And I bet we're sort of all over the place to chat right now.
Oh, so this is a big thing. The main threat in the game pretty much came out of nowhere. So, spoilers, per usual. The main threat for the main game, before the game is over, is Chairman Rose. Which was kind of obvious. Like,
the name is Chairman.
Yeah.
That's an evil villain name.
It's kind of a bad guy. But the thing is, he's not a bad guy. He's an antagonist. So Chairman Rose's whole...
Does he accidentally do something stupid?
Yep.
Mother...
I called it, didn't I?
We both did.
Yeah. So I predicted...
He's too nice not to be a bad guy to do something stupid.
Yeah. So the thing for me is, I was like, before the game came out, me and John were having a discussion. I was like, I wonder how they're going to set this up, and I wonder how they're going to set that up. And I was like, there's this whole thing...
something with Chairman.
Well, I was like, there's this whole thing with the Sword and the Shield characters, right? Like, usually in Pokemon games, there is... Legendary Pokemon A, Legendary Pokemon B, and for some reason, Legendary Pokemon C. And so I was like, I wonder what the Legendary Pokemon C is going to have like an effect on in the story. And so for me, I was like, oh, I bet you Legendary Pokemon C has something to do with the Darkest Day, which is kind of like the apocalyptic event that led to Dynamaxing being a thing, and the heroes basically saving the day. So for me, I was just like, okay, there's going to be a third legendary. And then we meet Chairman Rose. And I'm like, I bet you Chairman Rose is going to be the guy who catalyzes all this.
When I first heard about the power plant and the tower, I was just like,
yep, we already know where this is going.
This is going to be bad.
But then again, it's a child's game, so
and I think with this chat, we're starting to find out that this game was definitely for a newer generation of Pokemon players.
Well, I think the story was meant to be for a new generation of Pokemon players. I don't think the game itself necessarily was, because there's a lot of mechanics in there for people who've played the game for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, the thing about the main threat, so what else did I have on here? So yeah, pretty much every other complaint that I have now goes along with the main threat. So now we're in spoiler territory for sure.
All right, everybody, close your ears besides Data, because dang.
But anyways,
quick balling over there.
So yeah, the main threat came out of nowhere, where Chairman basically. So yeah, we know that Elena, I don't know how to pronounce her name. The secretary.
Secretary.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scoot closer so we can stare at the audience. You're staring at everybody in the back of your head.
Good.
It's very beautiful. Wait.
Shut up.
Turn around.
No. So the thing for me is, like, it's pretty obvious that she's like contributing to this big plot.
Yeah.
And it's just becoming this big issue. And it's obvious that the chairman is like, planning to do something, and she's trying to. At first, it's this feeling like, oh, maybe she loves the chairman, and then later on, you realize, no, it's not the case. Like, it's literally just.
I thought she was sort of the actual villain.
I thought so too,
because
or at least I thought she was the manipulative one.
Because she was the one that hurt our famous rival.
Yeah,
Abid.
Yeah.
He was the one that got, like, double-crossed by her. And I was just like, she's the actual villain. It's not the chairman.
Nope.
Because the chairman wears boxers that are polka dots.
Yeah, no, she's not the villain either. Because for her, she's just like, oh, I'm doing... It's the same thing as Bede. She's like, I'm doing all this for the chairman. And maybe there is this, like, love story to it. Because, again, it's a children's game.
Yeah.
So...
Everybody likes everybody. Not...
Yeah. So, it's like, maybe there was,
not
like,
Mass
a love
Effect.
thing. Oh, I'm so done with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like, it felt like there was this, like, love interest thing that was happening. And you can tell from the way her character acts, like, she's very anime and how she acts as a love interest to Rose. But then you get to Rose, and it's like...
He's a dork.
No, he goes from, like, good guy to not so good guy, seemingly out of nowhere for no freaking reason.
Oh, I don't like that.
Like, even Leon hints that he's like, you're doing all this stupid stuff for something that's not going to happen for a while.
That was the first time the Dynamax happened. He told the player, he's all like, yeah, he's not doing the right thing with his power.
Well, it gets worse. Yeah, it gets a lot worse. And so, yeah, he points it out.
And I like how there's all this, like, catastrophes are happening in the story. Leon is fighting randomly Dynamaxed Pokemon out there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all like, I'll see you at the championship. Go on.
Yeah.
Ride the train that, goes through the wildlands where you could totally be in danger, but I want to fight you anyway, so go. Don't worry, I'll handle the big stuff.
It's a children's game.
I actually wanted to be Leon and fighting a random wild-type Dynamax Pokemon besides raids. I hate you so much for winking at me right now.
Yeah. Hold your horses. You'll get there. Well, kind of.
I've completed all the gyms. I better get there.
You'll get to a point. You'll get to something. So yeah, that was the thing.
The main story happens after the 8th gym badge, everybody.
So here's the thing. Here's another complaint that I had. This wasn't so much into the main story part as it was more design aspect. So it's just like talking about the design of Pokemon. Why do all the trainers look so similar?
Oh yeah, I said that before we started doing this.
Similar. I know in previous games that makes sense because
they're sprites.
But for this game, it's like for Opal, her entire gym, every single one of them look like the exact same woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They look like the exact
They walked
same
off stage
woman.
and they came back on.
Right back. They just had a different name. The only exception I have for this would be Team Yell. because it makes sense.
Yeah,
like
they're rock.
They're supposed to be mascot based team bad guys, so it's fine. I'll let that slide.
Agreed.
But for the other ones, it's like how hard is it to swap out hair and skin color?
I went into the Dragon Gym, and the first character I got, his name was a guy.
It was a guy.
It was a guy, and then the next two were girls.
And the two girls
that looked the same,
like twins.
I thought they were twins. I was just like, oh, you guys must be sisters, and this one must be the better one. And nope, they're both the same level of suck.
I wish that they were triplets. Like, I wish there was some kind of these are my apprentices, they're triplets.
I wanted Ryan to have sisters that were all the same kind.
No, I don't want him to have siblings. Because he's like the social media junkie.
He was already the worst character.
He's not. No, I love Ryan.
I mean, he had that was another Big Brother character in the game. Towards the end, after you kick his butt in the gym, he meets you at the train station with Hop, and he goes, well, I definitely want to see you guys win. So go and give the championship your all. I
didn't feel any kind of joy from that. Where I felt the most joy. So I think one of my favorite gym leaders to fight.
Fire.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I was just about to say. Yes, I was like,
Cabo.
I've never left a gym battle feeling so honorable. Good. I felt so honorable after that fight. I was just like, dude, I just fought this fire guy, and he came in from another town, and he came all the way after I kicked his butt in the gym.
Yeah, just to see
me off.
Yeah,
He's like, you're gonna do great.
When I saw his design, I was like, he is the epitome of what like the Tranquil Master looks like as a stereotype.
And you know what's cool? He was the only other gym leader that walked on out of the same gate as you.
That's true. Yeah.
He was the only one, but he jogged.
He did, yeah.
But still, he
walked
stood right next
to
you, side by side, all the way there. It wasn't an opposing threat.
Yeah.
It was
you were on equal level.
You and I are about to face off.
So that was cool.
I liked that guy. What was his name?
I think it was Cabo.
He was
Kabo.
And they hinted really much that he was foreign.
I mean, obviously,
yeah.
It's based in the It's
a UK game, but he was the only I don't want
Asian.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure there were more there. But he stood out.
Yeah.
A lot of the other Asian-looking characters are like the businessmen. You would find them in there.
The dragon trainers.
Or that too. So yeah, I was like, they're too samey. Stop giving me the samey design for these. If you want a mega criticism for this game, they copy a lot, and they don't give you much in return for it. That's a big negative. That's a big no-no. Now, you haven't come across them yet. You're about to, and that's Macrocosmos. Macrocosmos is another kind of branch team. They're not like Team Macrocosmos. They're literally just called Macrocosmos. They are they're like the security for Rose. So those guys that you see
other gym that you see on the map.
Well, no, I mean like everywhere you go, you see the guys who wear like the white outfit who look like security.
Oh, they have the spinner on the side with those balls. Yeah.
Yeah,
those guys are in the wild.
That's Macrocosmos.
Okay. I think they get introduced early in the game too.
They don't get introduced as Macrocosmos until where you're about to get to right now. Oh. And it kind of hit out of nowhere, and it was like, wait, Macrocosmos who? Who's Macrocosmos? What is this? Bad? And it's like, are they bad guys or are they been part of this team? And it's like, it didn't make any sense. They became a major part out of nowhere. And it was just like, that's not comfortable. Same thing with Elena. Like, she became a character, like a actual character, way too late in the game. Mm-hmm. Like, she just felt like that, because, I mean, the way she walked as that quiet secretary, you were like, okay, she's going to do something crazy later.
Yeah, I thought she was crazy from the start.
Well, yeah, but she's the silent, stern secretary type. Same. It's typical.
That's it.
That
energy, man.
Now, you haven't gotten here yet. And this is like my big, like...
Oof.
My big plus. No.
Oh, it's a plus. Here we go.
So this is
Hold on to your hats.
This is one of my two last positives I have to say about the game.
Okay. That warms my heart, Malik.
This positive is, because we talked about the sound and music.
Yeah.
And how music is good in this game. The battle theme that you go up against Rose with.
One of the best.
Ooh. Like, Fire Emblem Three Houses, right?
Yeah.
How far have you gotten in Fire Emblem Three Houses?
just before the end, and then I stopped.
Okay, so there comes a point in Fire Emblem
just
Three
before
Houses...
the time skip. I'm like 2 months before the time skip.
Never mind. You're not close to this part then. But there comes a point where you do a mission in Fire Emblem Three Houses where the genre of the music shifts. And it becomes this completely different genre of music. And you're like, this doesn't fit with the theme, but I like it.
Yeah.
This game does the same thing.
Interesting.
You go up against Chairman Rose, and the music hits, and you're like, can we just like put the game down for a second and just let this play? Like, the only Pokemon theme that I've ever downloaded was Versus Red or Versus Lancer, depending on what people call it. And that's the only Pokemon theme that I've ever just been like, yes, I need to listen to you. So to hear Chairman Rose's, I was like, I can't wait to have free time to download your song because that's nice. And I can't wait for you to like hear it because, oh man, it's nice. My last positive I have to say is the game. So when you beat the game and you become the champion and things like that, the team that you beat Lee with gets immortalized on your title screen. And by that, what I mean is, so right now if you booted up the game and you let it roll, it'll do like a tour of the stadium, right?
Okay.
And it's kind of barren and empty. Maybe there's a Pokeball. I'm not entirely sure. But it's barren and empty, right?
It goes to the Wildlands or something like that.
Oh, well, so it changes up. When you beat Lee and you go back to the title screen and you like wait, it shows your character with the Pokemon that you had on your team.
Oh, nice.
Every single time.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like, that's awesome. It immortalizes the team. So no matter what team I'm using online or things like that, it will forever immortalize the team that I used
to beat the game the first time.
Beat the game, yeah. Or at least to beat the champion.
Now, at post game, is there an option to restart?
Let me point my notes away.
So we're getting into the thick of it now.
For those of you who are still sticking around, this is about wrapping up at this point.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about post game, and this will kind of lead into my deliberation about whether you should get the game or not.
Guys, he put away his notes.
I did, because I don't even need my notes to talk about this whole game. So, to wrap up post game, like my opinion about the post game, in a nutshell, it's fetch quest the end game.
Oh.
And it's not so much a fetch quest as it is more go here, do this, go here, do that, come back, go here, do that, go here, do that, go here, do that, come back, go here, do that, go here, do that. Okay, go catch a legendary Pokemon.
Oh.
And it's like one of those like Tour de France
do you feel rushed during it?
There's no way to not rush doing it because literally what the end game quest is there are two, think of like the Kardashians. So think of Kim and Kylie, so Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner, right?
Okay.
So imagine them showing up one day and being like, yo, you kind of defiled my family's name by saying that like we're not the original Kardashians and saying that these Pokemon actually were like the title card, you know, it's like these Pokemon have the fame that we as people should have been getting. That's basically what happens. There's two characters. I'm not going to tell you who they are, and I'm not going to tell you what they look like, because you're going to love it. You're going to get a good laugh out of it. I will say that their designs are hilarious. But they show up...
Oh my god, they look like us.
No. But they show up, and this kind of goes back to what... Day Days was talking about with Hop. And so talking about post-game. Sounds like classic WoW. Oh... No, Santi. This is your apprentice typing from the nerd's phone. Oh, Lord. Being weird in chat again.
It's okay, we approve.
I don't.
I approve.
He does. But no, so this is the thing with the end game. Is...
Especially you, Santi. I approve.
You guys are nerds. So, the thing about the end game is that basically you get this sensation where it's like, oh, we should probably... So there's an item that you get. And it's like, oh, we should probably, like, put this item back. Like, you get this sensation of, I should put the item back. Because the end game kind of does this tease where it shows you this area in the misty... I can't remember, the name of it right now. But that forest that you're in.
You're not allowed to go in?
Yeah. So, it shows you the forest, like, part of the forest with, like, sunshine. So, it's, like, clear. The fog is clear and everything like that. So, it kind of is, like, the game saying, like, hey, the story continues. Yeah. And so, you go through there and things like that happen. These characters show up and basically they're like, yeah, we are the famous ones. You're taking away our fame. And then...
Oh, no!
What?
Is it the heroes from old time? Did they come back?
No. They consider themselves to be the ancestors of the hero.
Ew.
Yeah. So they believe it's
See how fast I pieced that together, Malik? I like puzzles.
Man, it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon Sword and Shield, I should say. But the thing is, it's like, they show up and they're just like, yeah, we're ancestors of the original hero. So it's like this battle of history where it's like,
that's kind of cool.
Your history's right. Or it's like, your history's wrong, my history's right. And then it's like, no. Your history's wrong, our history's right. You're just a jerk. So the setup for it is interesting. The payoff for it is terrible.
Oh.
Because the setup for it was like, oh, this is actually interesting. It's like the fight over like the history of Galar and like who's the true hero of Galar. And it falls apart because Hop, who was able to get to the finals and fight you, couldn't beat the other person. So it's like there's two of them. You fight one, Hop fights the other. You beat that one, and Hop loses. And they take the artifact that Hop had, and they just run off. And it's like, great. Now we gotta find out where they went. And basically the whole Dynamaxing thing becomes a problem again, and it doesn't make any sense at first. And you're like, why is Dynamaxing becoming such a big deal? Long story short, they want to cause... For you, it would be Zamazenta. For me, it was Zacian. They want to cause the legendary Pokemon, to go berserk. To prove to the world that the Pokemon couldn't be the Guardian. Because they're too untamed. Like, they're too out of control to have been, like, worthy of the title.
Okay, I'm getting it a little bit more now.
Yeah. And honestly, the story, like I just told you, couple minutes. Like, it could have been summed up in a couple minutes. Nah, they drag it out for too long. So you have to revisit all the gyms and all of that, and you have to meet all these people again. And it's kind of like one of those where are they now, but with Dynamaxing happening.
Weird.
And it's the same problem because you go to you go to the gyms, right? And every gym person says the same similar thing to you. Yeah, there's a Dynamaxing problem happening. Yep, there's a Dynamaxing problem. We evacuated all the people.
I got a phone.
There's a Dynamaxing thing that's happening.
Call me.
And it's like you're the champion, so of course you have to go save the world.
Oh, I knew that was gonna be a thing.
Save the world.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, this is thing that's happening. Go save the world. And it's like, all right, fine. Yeah, the end game was bad. But the thing about the end game, though, that made me the most upset, it shouldn't have been end game. I think the story of Sword and Shield should have been that. Because the story of Sword and Shield, to crack it down to like a simple form,
was after the gyms.
No. I mean, like, what if someone asked you, what's the story of Pokemon Sword and Shield? It's one man trying to save Galar's energy crisis by using a legendary Pokemon. That's literally it.
I've heard that story before.
Exactly. Versus the end game. What's the story of the end game of Pokemon Sword and Shield? The story of the end game of Pokemon Sword and Shield is that there are these ancestors of someone who is perceived to be the hero of that part of the world.
Yeah, but they're saying that the dogs are the heroes.
And yeah, when people find out the truth that these Pokemon, these creatures, are actually the guardians, now there's this clash of whose history is right.
Yeah.
That should have been the main story of Pokemon Sword and Shield.
But okay, yeah. I've heard two of those things before.
I get that.
Yeah.
But for a Pokemon game, one of these things is more enticing than the other.
And that's not the energy crisis.
Precisely. Who cares?
If they continued this as throughout the game, that would have been cool. Like,
that's what I'm like. If every stop
was
in this
more
game,
of a problem.
Yeah, every stop in the game should have been you uncovered more of the history of Galar.
Agreed.
And they also find ways to
It would have been cool. It would have been cool.
Yeah.
I said this in the beginning of the live stream, and I said I wish the legendaries had more interaction.
And that's how you do it.
And you do it by having those two ancestors be more antagonizing and more of a problem and more. Yeah, everything you said, I agree.
Yeah. I'm just like, that's how you fix the story. That's how you. No one's complaining about the story of the game.
No.
I am, though.
It's not getting any awards.
Because I don't care about... Well, yeah. Because I don't care about the competitive aspect of Pokemon.
Neither way.
But if I'm going to play an adventure, that adventure better have a decent story for me to play through. And the thing is, like, you had a concept...
RPGs, but nah.
Yeah, I was like, you had a great concept for your end game, but you didn't use it for your main game.
Yeah.
Why'd you save it for the end? So that's my big criticism with the post game.
So this brings up my question. I have two main questions before we end, guys. This is my last bit, and that is my first one is DLC. Do you think there will be a DLC to this game?
There's potential. I don't see why.
There's room for it.
There is room. The accessibility with the Switch allows for it.
Yes.
But again, I don't see why. I can see events.
I can see events
being a thing, but DLC...
I need something more than an event to draw me in, though.
I think the only DLC thing you'll see is cosmetic. For better or for worse.
Okay.
Because what are you going to do loot box-wise for... What premium coin are you going to have? Because there is premium currency in the post-game.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't even have to pay for it. You just got to play the game.
It's the watts, isn't it?
No, it's... They're battle points.
Oh, okay.
So when you go to the battle tower and then you're battling. But it's like you don't have to pay for those. Just play the game. Because what else? There's no one else to challenge you. Besides the battle tower and other players. Yeah. So it's like... And there's ranked battles, but if you're not a competitor, you don't care.
And then my last little bit, yay or nay?
To the game?
Yeah, overall. I mean, if we're coming to a close right now.
Yeah. So
I would say, I honestly, my opinion, I would say yay.
I would also say yay.
I think this game is great in its moments.
Yeah.
And when you find those moments, you're going to go, oh my god, that was awesome. Yeah. And I had a lot of fun. I'm still having fun. I still haven't beaten it. And even right now, I want to be playing the game. Yeah. And I was at work, and I was just like, ooh, what am I going to do with my Pokemon next? Yeah. And I enjoy that about a game that continually draws me in. And that's what I think. That's why this game is definitely a yay, in my opinion, because it's always drawing me in. Yeah. And I was never like that with Pokemon games, because this one, sure, it's giving me a little bit of a crutch, but I'm also a filthy casual. Yeah. And it appealed to that. And as a kid, when I was playing Emerald, I got stuck, and then I just didn't play anymore. Yeah. But with this, if I get stuck, I'm going to try again. And then again, because I know I can get better. Because strategy does matter in this game. Yeah. If you think about it, if you're not starting off with your OP characters, and that's saying something.
If you're playing it in a decent way.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to challenge myself by not using my most powerful until the end. Until all my Pokemon are white. Yeah. And that's why fighting Percy was so hard for me. Because I didn't start off with my most powerful guys. I threw my Growlithe in first.
Yeah. But you had to cripple yourself to make it challenging.
Exactly. And that was the problem is that would be my only nay. Yeah. The only reason I'm making it challenging is because I'm making it challenging. It wasn't the game that making it challenging. Yeah. And why would you say it was a yay?
I'd say it's a yay because it was pretty much everything I wanted in a Pokemon game. It had simple mechanics that made it easy for me to return to the game and not have to freak out. Yeah. Even though I still had conscious awareness that, hey, I'm going to need a Pokemon that's going to be able to let me fly. Oh, what's this? Your bird type?
That's because we're so used to the old gens.
Precisely. Yeah. So we're used to the old style, and it cleared that for me. I think this game gave me an opportunity to experiment with Pokemon. You know, so long as I have that one, as long as Cinderace is in my pocket, or Colossal, I'll win. I can use whatever Pokemon I want.
I still haven't caught up.
So,
we got blue.
Would you say, Edwin? This game is ridiculously hard if you Nuzlocke it. So that's the thing. So
oh yeah,
that's the very last thing I wanted to end with. Nuzlocke. But I'm not going to jump into Nuzlocke yet. Yeah. So the thing for me is, it's like I recommend this game, but if you're a hardcore and I mean like hardcore Pokemon fan, and you're against this game, I wouldn't say give it a try. No. Yeah.
If like, you're so stuck with X and Y or with Emeralds. Or Ruby, Sapphire, all that, white, even Silver and Gold. This isn't that game.
No,
it's different.
Now, does the game keep me drawn in? Yes. Because, like John pointed out multiple times, I've beaten this game. I've breezed through this game. Do I still return to it? Yeah.
This is the first Switch game Malik hasn't deleted after he beat it.
This is true. This is very
Next to
true.
Katana Zero.
No, I had to delete Katana
I knew
Zero.
it!
Yeah. I beat it, but I didn't get to complete it yet. But I was like, no, I gotta make room for other games. But yeah, no, I mean, it's true. And I don't intend on deleting Pokemon. No. That's the thing.
Yeah, because he's still got more that he wants to do. And what's cool is he's not doing it for achievements. There are no achievements.
There are no achievements. Yeah, it's the Switch.
He's doing it all for, numero uno here. Yeah. And that's what's cool.
That's what's cool. This game kind of, it's like, what do you want to do? Well, I wouldn't collect all 400 Pokemon. All right, there you go. I think I'm at 150.
No way.
So I'm almost halfway through. And I know how to get the other half.
Your box must be full.
Box is a big problem that I don't want to talk about right now, but yeah.
Nuzlocke.
So would I recommend this game? Yes. If I had to give this game a score, 6.5. Probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 meaning that it's a game that I think is worth playing. It's not worth $60 in my opinion. And
I think I'm getting my time worth out of it.
I mean, yeah.
You beat it in 3 days. I'm still playing.
Yeah, it depends. $60 to a person who plays games differs depending on how much time you get to play.
That's true.
I don't get that much time to play, but when I put time towards a game, a $60 worth game is worth the $60. That's why, Outer Worlds, I use Game Pass, so I didn't even pay $60 for it. If I had to pay $60 for Outer Worlds, I'd be kind of disappointed, in my honest opinion. Same thing with Pokemon. Like, $60,
a little steep.
I didn't need to buy it when it first came out. That's what I'll say. So, there's Gerard the Completionist, and he does, the whole, play it, watch it, complete it, things like that, finish it, and things like the sort. For me, if I had to give it, a sort of scale like that, it's, wait. That's what I would say. It's just wait. Wait for it to go on sale. Yeah. Don't buy the game right now. There's nothing that can be spoiled for you with this game that you couldn't be patient. And on top of that, I think that there's nothing the game gives you as an incentive for playing it so early on that you wouldn't get later on. Like, maybe you won't get the Gigantamax Meowth.
Not even the pre-order was worth it.
Yeah, that's right. There was nothing we got for pre-order.
We got 12 Quick Balls and then a Meowth from the original.
Maybe the Meowth, maybe those were gifts for pre-ordering.
Yeah.
But, even then, if those were pre-order gifts, you're not missing out on anything. No. Because I'm not using that Meowth at all.
Yeah.
He's there for collections.
That was starter game.
Yeah. It's cool that he can Gigantamax, but
that is cool.
It's once you Gigantamax once, you blew your entire load. So, yeah. Now, to get to the final point.
Phrasing.
And then we'll kind of end here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, looks like we're dropping some frames. Uh-oh.
Ew.
That's looking bad. That's okay. We'll balance out. We're wrapping it up in a second anyways. But when it comes to Nuzlocke, what makes this such a difficult thing to do is Nuzlocke is a decision you'd have to make at the very beginning of your Pokemon journey. Mm-hmm. Because unlike previous Pokemon games, you cannot have multiple saves.
Nope.
You have just the one. The only way, potentially, that you can have multiple saves is you'd have to have another user on your Nintendo Switch. Which I think is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to make another... Because if I'm the sole user of my Nintendo Switch, I shouldn't have to make a second user profile.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Just for Nuzlocke. It doesn't make sense to me. And the thing about Nuzlocke is... Nuzlocke's really fun. And if you don't know what Nuzlocke Pokemon is, I highly recommend that you look up people's experiences with it. In fact, hilariously enough, Jaden Animation just did a video, an animated video of her experience playing Nuzlocke Pokemon. And, you should watch it. It's very... It brings emotion to being a Pokemon trainer. And I like it. And I honestly wanted to do a Nuzlocke. I told myself, okay, I'm going to complete the Pokedex on my first thing, and then I'm going to play again with Nuzlocke. But the moment I found out that you can't have multiple saves,
lost that idea.
It defeated the idea of me ever doing Nuzlocke. Mm-hmm. Because it's you can always restart, but there's no New Game Plus, which means all of my progress means nothing, which means doing a Nuzlocke means nothing. So I would have to make a new user. And, it's kind of me being lazy and not making a new user, but at the same time, I
shouldn't have to.
Yeah, it's an inconvenience to me.
Then again, that goes back to...
For no reason.
The reason that there were multiple saves. There were multiple saves because back when you had a Game Boy, you had memory in the game.
Yeah.
You didn't have memory in the console.
Yeah.
You had memory in the game. And that's why there were multiple save slots, because multiple people wanted to be playing that game.
Yeah.
So you could hand it to your friend and they can create a new save. That's why there was a save slot. But
I mean,
in this case, since there are multiple users available on a console, they did it just like that.
I argue that the reason why there were multiple save slots were actually because of the multiple starters. And that's why you had multiple save slots. And that's the thing, is
that's not the same. That's not
you can't do it with this game.
Oh.
You can't experiment and say, okay, I did my Score Bunny run. Now I want to try playing the game with Sobble, or I want to try doing it with Grookey. Nope. The only way you can do that is you'd have to start a new game. And how do you start a new game? You have to delete your entire save.
Or if you want those Pokemon off the bat, you find somebody who's breeding.
Yeah, or you just get a friend. So if you had like a trio of friends, I'm Score Bunny, he's Sobble, maybe one other person would end up being like Grookey.
Francis, Santi, if you're listening, we want you to get this game later on.
But not right now.
We want 4-player raids.
Yeah. It would be so much fun to do raids with friends.
It would be so much fun.
But at the same time, as your friend and as someone who's trying to grow when it comes to
wait for a sale.
My gaming opinion, don't buy it now.
Yeah, wait for a sale.
It's $40, I think, is good enough to say that it's worth that.
Don't get the dual pack.
But don't get the dual pack. The way that since they marketed it like that, and I hate that Pokemon markets their games like that. Because
ever since not XY.
It's been like that since Soul Silver and Heart Gold. So don't buy them packaged like that. That's just, you're wasting money.
And it tastes bad.
Just get some friends. Yeah. You guys can easily trade.
And whether or not Sword or Shield, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And this is proof.
Yeah.
We both got an opportunity to play different gyms, and that was all that we really wanted out of it.
Yeah.
I once again, I had no research in it, so I went in and I was like, oh, there are 2 different gyms I don't get to play? That's fine. I don't care. What's a ghost type Pokemon?
Yeah. And for me, it's like, coming from someone who... It's Santi basically just saying, like, it's not that high on his list, which I get.
That's fine,
it makes sense.
No, totally.
The thing for me is, it's like, coming from me where I have more of an interest for fighting games, and I have more of an interest for series like Devil May Cry 5, which I think is my game of the year. It's, for me to say that I enjoyed playing this game actually is something special. Because it's not that I enjoyed it because it's Pokemon. I enjoyed it because it made me feel like I was having fun. Even though there were some problems, I still was having fun. And that's why I beat the game, and I didn't just put it down. I'm still playing it now. You know, I'm still trying to get my Pokemon to a high level. I'm still trying to finish the Pokedex. I think this will probably be the first game that I ever complete the Pokedex. So
it'll be cool.
It'll be fun to see. So, do you have anything else?
No, I think we went through all of my stuff. Yeah. I think we did really well for going over the time that we got. Thanks to everybody on the chat still with us, and you guys are awesome, even the ones that we know.
Yeah.
We've always truly been awesome friends.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for checking this out.
Yeah.
I know that for you who are here on Twitch, you got to see our live reactions and interact, so it's really cool. For those of you who are watching this later, join us on Twitch every now and then. Yeah. Join the conversation. It'll be fun.
Pop in. We're cool.
Yeah.
You're cool.
So,
we love y'all.
That's pretty much all that we have left. And for you, chat, you're cool to stick around for a bit. Chat a little bit. Say your goodbyes and things like that. I'm not going to kick you out.
If you have questions, send them a mess.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing, too, is, we have social media. Mm-hmm. So best place to contact for questions and things like that is Instagram. It's the easiest place to communicate. If you ever have any kind of like artwork or things you want to send our way,
please.
Twitter is the best way to do that. Facebook's kind of just there for those folks who don't really use Instagram and, Twitter like that.
I use Instagram and Facebook, and that's it.
Yeah. So, different strokes for different folks. But of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. Like, YouTube is one of the best places that you can find us because of the fact that there are videos we can't do on Twitch because sometimes our quality is just not the best.
Our 4-player podcasts are always going to be popping up every other Sunday. Yep. Please check those out. We're doing one tomorrow.
Yep.
For games and movies.
Yep.
And that one will be cool. Please tune in.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be awesome to see any responses you guys have on that.
Yeah.
We will be doing the 4-player podcast tomorrow. So that's with Francis and Santi.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that.
Please.
Spread the word, man.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
For me personally, I want the Gauntlet of Gaming to kind of be this like Elk Grove gamer centric entertainment thing.
Oh no, you told the world where we live.
Most of them know.
That's true.
So that's my whole thing is, I want us to kind of start a movement that we can go forward with where we can make gaming a big thing here.
Yeah.
So it starts with you all and it starts with us. So let's spread the word and let's get it out there.
And one more time, big shout out to this big guy for going through all the hardship of setting this Twitch, YouTube, everything up. Getting us a microphone, lights, everything looks great.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, guys.
And it took legit all 3 hours of prepping to get this up. So this guy deserves all the credit. He did great. So once again, thank him for that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not for me. It's for all of you. I've always wanted to be able to just make something that I can work with the audience and enjoy, the experience of putting something there. And I'm glad that I can put my experience as an artist and in different fields to work. And also just do it with my friends.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. And at the end of the day, when you're having fun, that's all that really matters. So, without further ado and all that being said, I've been Malik.
I'm John. Keep on gaming.
Yeah, game on. And remember, these hands are rated E for everyone.
You will not get me saying that.
Oh, eventually. All right, we'll see you all later.
Take care, guys.